Live from the Sports Center of Connecticut here in Shelton, Connecticut, NCAA Division II hockey as this afternoon and soon to be this evening a gigantic NE10 conference battle as the Southern New Hampshire University Penmen have made the about 3-hour bus ride down from New Hampshire to take on your Post-University Eagles. A pleasant good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jeff Nelson. Coach Pete Whitney will join us in just a moment. For the Eagles, a gigantic 3-1 victory on Tuesday against winless Franklin Pierce has moved them to within 1 point of fourth place and 2 points clear of second place. This team has won 4 out of their last 5, 3 out of 4 in conference to move their way up from deep in a fifth place hole to right on the edge of potentially earning home ice advantage in the first round. The Eagles have done it with the line we love to call Run PMC. Mateo Pekka had 2 goals on Tuesday, including the game winner, a shorthand one in the second period. Connor McCall, the sophomore from Grosse Pointe, Michigan, and Nate McDevitt, the junior out of Southington, Connecticut, a plus 17 combined on the season. The defensive Aiden Kennedy, who leads the NE10 in plus minus at a plus 10, and Owen Rieger, who is in the top 5 in plus minus at a plus 6, have come a long way as 2 freshmen. And Coach, we bring you in. I know we were talking beforehand, and we can debate a little bit as to what's larger, but a very gigantic weekend for the Eagle hockey program here. 2 points out of second place with about 8 games to go.
Yeah, I think it's an important weekend, obviously, for the points involved and the placement, but also the last 2 times these teams played, Post was shut out both games, so I think that's something that they can use for motivation, and the plan, I'm sure, is to try to return the favor as close as they possibly can. But again, 2 very even teams, really, if you look at the records, and goaltending close, not Post, but just marginally. So it should be a very entertaining game this afternoon.
To your point on how close the teams really are, Southern New Hampshire 8-9-1 overall, 7-4-1 in the NE10 with an overtime win mixed in there for 21 points. The Eagles 8-10-0, 6-6 overall in the NE10 for 19 points with an overtime loss in there. We have the NASA consultants still checking on the standings. But in regards to goals for, goals against, Post has 38 goals for, Southern New Hampshire 44. Post has 49 goals against, which is a league best. Southern New Hampshire has 54, so the goal differential there is 11 for the Eagles, 10 for Southern New Hampshire. The Eagles lead the NE10 in save percentage at 93%. That's .01 ahead of St. Mike's, but .2 ahead of Southern New Hampshire. Ben Cunine leads the NE10 in saves with .429, but Colin Burke leads in goals against average with a 2.04 goals against average and 3 shutouts, second in the league. So goaltending and defense may be the sign of the weekend, but it's going to be big for the Eagles to get a goal early on to kind of wipe those shutouts out of their mind.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think the other thing, too, moving forward here for Post, is there's got to be a concentration on limiting shots on goal. I think still there's too many of those. So as you approach towards the end of the season, begin to get ready for your playoffs, end of the day, right, as in many sports, defense wins games. So the better you can be defensively, and if you do allow shots, let's try to keep them from outside the dots so they're easier saves for the goaltender to see and to make. So support him any way you can with that. But again, the best way is good neutral zone play. Try to reduce the shots on goal.
Eagles also lead the NE10 in penalty minutes, which is by far and away, by the way, they lead in penalty minutes by almost 80. But to the point of shots, Coach, Ben Cunine, 38.8 saves per game. That is 8 more saves than the next highest person in the league. And consider that Franklin Pierce, who hasn't won a game yet, their saves per game is under 25, and Ben's is 38.
Right. So, I mean, again, that's a stat that, and I'm sure that's been talked about. So we'll see if they can put that into play this afternoon.
Teams getting ready to take the ice this afternoon. Crowd filing in on a Friday evening, the first of 2 games this weekend here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Again, the Eagles 2 points out of second place, 1 point out of fourth, and games galore this weekend within the NE10. So the standings will get somewhat jumbled up as we get from today to tomorrow. And tomorrow through Sunday. Don't forget to join us tomorrow at 3:15 pregame for Game 2 of this series. It'll be Think Pink at the Rink Day here with raffles and sponsorships and somebody I think special singing the national anthem. But good time to come on out, fill this building up for a good cause, Think Pink at the Rink, and to support your Eagles, who are taking the ice now as we speak. And that'll lead us to our starting lineups, which are brought to you by Post University, offering online, hybrid, and on-campus degree programs to meet your needs. It's application season, so for you, Post is personal. For more information on all the Post degree programs, to visit campus or to apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. For the visitors from Southern New Hampshire University, 8-9-1 overall, 7-4-1 in the NE10. They'll start their leader, Colin Burke, in goal. 6', 190 out of Crofton, Maryland. He's 8-3-1 on the season with a league-leading 2.04 goals against average and a .939 save percentage. That makes it second in the NE10 in that category. The defensive combination will be Ryan Kaiser, 6'1", 180 freshman of Highland Ranch, Colorado, and Adam Boucher, 6 foot from Uniontown, Pennsylvania. He's a freshman as well, 200 pounds. The offense will be left wing Kurt Watson, junior out of London, Ontario, Canada. The center is Brendan Lynch, 5'10", 175 out of Nepean, Ontario. And the right wing is Anthony Marchant, 5'8", 160 out of Norwood, Massachusetts. The head coach in season number 8 is Sean Walsh. Assistant coaches Chris Moquin, Matt Osgood, and Johnny DeRoche. For your Eagles, it's Ben Cunine, who we expected to play probably both games this weekend. He comes in at 7-4-0 overall, a 2.37 goals against average, and a league-leading .940 save percentage in the NE10. He's made 420 saves on the season. That is second overall in regards to saves stopped in the NE10. He's stopped, as we mentioned, 38.18 shots per game, which leads the NE10. His defensive combination is Trey Delory, the captain, 6'5", 180 out of Andover, New Hampshire, and Tanner Glasser, the senior out of Delano, Minnesota, 6'7", 225. Forwards will be Baxter Kimball, the junior out of Elliott, Maine, 5'10", 177. Connor Murray, 5'10", 165, junior out of Bedford, New Hampshire, and Holden Beckett, the freshman out of Craig, Colorado, 5'7", 160. The head coach in year 3 is Tim Richter, assistant coach Andy DeAngelis, and Brandon Brown. Starting lineups being announced to the crowd. Here's a filing in on a Friday evening. Again, this should be a good one. Two very similar teams, but in regards to the Eagles, and again, Southern New Hampshire's coming off 2 wins last weekend as well, but before that, a 4-game winless slide, whereas the Eagles have won 4 out of 5, 3 out of 4 in conference, and have moved their way up from sort of deep in their own 5th place hole to suddenly being within 1 point of 4th and 2 points of 2nd. 6 points behind first place, by the way. So in reality, if you want to play out the schedule with 8 games to go, the Eagles do control their own destiny to some extent with legitimacy, because they're going to play the top teams in the conference, including St. Mike's and St. A's.
Number 27, Captain Trey Delory. On the right defense, a senior from Delano, Minnesota.
And momentarily, we're going to get ready for the playing of our national anthem. Again, this should be a good one here this afternoon. And we thank you for joining us. Wherever you are across our many networks, across the state campus, country, and world. Now we will rise for the playing of our national anthem. Our national anthem here on a Friday afternoon in the state of Connecticut at the Sports Center of Connecticut here in Shelton, Connecticut. A gigantic NE10 conference matchup, the first of two this weekend as the Eagles host Southern New Hampshire University. Players surrounding their goaltenders. And we'll get ready for the opening face-off in just another minute. Just a quick note, the women's hockey program, big win upstairs today, 2-1 in overtime against Assumption as they continue to plug along. We'll get into all of that in the first intermission where we go around the post-university sports scene. A very busy late January sports scene at post-university, but congratulations to the women's team with a big win today. They'll hit the road for a road game at Assumption tomorrow, so not a lot of time to hang out. They got to get on a bus and head up there. Southern New Hampshire in the dark blue and gold. We'll go right to left as you look at your screen and dial. The Eagles at home in their whites with the purple pants. We'll go left to right as you look at your screen and dial. The leader in face-offs percentage in the NE10 by a decent margin is Brendan Lynch, the junior out of Nepean, Ontario. He will take the opening face-off. He's at 60% on the save percentage. Connor Murray, not so bad himself, 5'10" in face-offs, is 7th. And Murray wins the draw against the 60% winner in Lynch, and the Eagles start the play with the puck. Beckett gets the center, rolls it in, gloved by Colin Burke, and a mere 9 seconds into the first period, a easy save for Burke. We don't know if the mark might have been going wide, so maybe not an official save, but a face-off deep inside the Penn men's zone. The Eagles have really simplified in these 5 games where they've gone 4 out of 5. They've simplified the play, just putting pucks on net, getting more shots than they had earlier in the season, and the results have shown. Puck in the Eagles' zone. Glassrud will have it behind his own net, makes a nice move around Lynch. Feeds a pass to Murray, and Murray makes a nice little pass out of the zone. Looking ahead for Beckett, rolled off his stick, but then stolen by Murray. Murray to Beckett, one-timer, stopped by Burke. Nice save there for the Burke's big save of the game. Then a re-center off the side of Burke that he had space between the post and his body, but managed to make the save in the crease, and a couple of good opportunities. Again, very simple play, 34 seconds in. Yeah,
Post looks to figure that piece of their game out the last few times here. Just simple plays. You have an opportunity. Don't try to make a quote-unquote better play. Just get pucks to the net.
Joe Santoro, second in the NE10 in face-off percentage, back after a one-game league suspension. Wins that face-off back for a shot, but the puck ends up getting blocked and then sent out to center. Here's Minig. Minig looking for Devlin. Rolled off his stick back into the Penn men's zone. Puck being chopped at, finally sent out to center, past the stick of Rieger, and Kennedy will pick it up inside his own zone. Watched by his opposing number, Tyler Murray. He'll wait behind his own net, look for a play, sends it up the middle, finds Scotty Swain at the red line. Swain will have it chopped off his stick, but dumps it into the Penn men's zone, and the Eagles will go off on a line change. 1 minute into the first period, no score, with the Eagles a couple of shots. Bice tried to take a shot. It got blocked, sent around the net to McLaughlin. McLaughlin tries to get it out. Good stick by Howell to keep it in momentarily. Before poke back to center to Tommy Bice. Bice quick up to Hugh McQuegan up on right wing. McQuegan spins it off a check, keeps going. McMahon sends it toward the net, deflects in front. Now pops free in the slot and then out to center. O'Connell tried a quick pass, but it went off the leg of Pompaselli inside the Eagles zone. Brought in. Down goes Gray. He centered it on net. Stopped by Cunene. Gray went down on his own. The 6'1 senior out of Lowell, Massachusetts, managed to sweep the puck on net for Cunene's first save of the game. 1:44 into period 1 of the faceoff. Deep inside the Eagles zone. Face-off to Cunene's right. Jack Gray and Connor McCall. Won by Gray, but picked up by McDevitt. McDevitt tried to go forward with it, had a chop off his stick. Now Gray tried to center it again. He did, off the body of Cunene, and then a quick little shot from the bottom of the circle. Stopped by Ben Cunene as Dylan Phillips found a loose puck. Excuse me, that was Ryan Pompaselli. Nope, that was Phillips. 22, not 12, who found a loose puck.
Yeah, you can see that Southern New Hampshire now is kind of into the flow of the game a little bit, getting their feet moving.
McCall toss from the draw. McDevitt will have to take it, run PMC out, and McDevitt loses the faceoff, but Pekka picks it up anyway in the slot. Pekka goes around the defense, continues forward with it. Glassrud will take a shot toward the net, nowhere near anybody, and it goes wide into the near side corner, but a good steal by by McCowell in front looking for McDevitt. Now Pekka takes on two Southern New Hampshire players, and Glassrud bombs one from the left point, high and wide. Delory will pinch down with the puck. He's now behind the net. Puck in some legs. He tries to reverse the flow back to the point. Delory takes another shot that goes off another leg. Chased by Pekka. Run PMC keeping that puck deep inside the Penn men's zone. Pekka, who had 2 goals on Tuesday, tried to re-center it. Glassrud kept it in for a moment, then it rolled off a stick and out to center. Glassrud comes right back in with Southern New Hampshire changing, but he's offsides at the Penn men line as McDevitt came in a second ahead. Good shift by Run PMC right off the top, and as we mentioned, plus 17 combined leads the team.
You can see how similar these teams are. Once the puck is in the offensive zone, defensively, the opponent struggles to get that puck out.
Rieger to Kennedy, 2 freshmen on the fence for the Eagles. Kennedy leads the team in scoring with 13 points, but here's Rieger through center, over the line, makes a fancy move, walks in on a backhand. He takes the stop by Burke. Great move by Rieger. He went backhand, forehand, and back to the backhand. He just didn't get a lot on it, and Burke slid over to make a save, but a nice move by the freshman, Owen Rieger.
Yeah, that was a nice deceptive move by Owen there. He came in, kind of sold that he was going to look to pass, and then got the shot off.
Murray and Hirschberger deep in the Penn men's zone. One by Murray again, shot toward the point by Rieger. Deflects off a body. Don't think it ever got to Burke. And then Slingerland pops it high into the air and out to center. Rieger in his own zone. Watched by Hirschberger. Some line changes made as Kennedy gets it out to center to Kimball, who dumps it into the Penn men's zone. Chasing after the Penn men defense, tries to get it up the wall. Will get it to center, but a little bit too far for the streaking Watson. No icing, as they said Kennedy could play it. He will play it behind his own net, but being chased all the way. And then a pass up the middle, and Beckett's got a breakaway from the blue line in, gets to the puck, he scores! Sort of an accidental pass. It went through the Penn men defense, and Beckett used his speed and walked in all alone for a breakaway. Really picked it up at the top of the circles, walked right in and beat Burke glove side high, and at 3:32, the Eagles get what they need. They lead 1-0.
And that puck was actually in a perfect spot because you could see the goaltender half thinking about, should I come out and play it? Should I hold my position? And kind of got caught in between there. Never really got set, and Post was able to take advantage of that.
So for Beckett, who had 2 points the other day, he gets his second goal of the season and 5th point. Give the first assist to Kimball. We'll see if there's a second assist in a moment.
Assist by number 7, Aiden Kennedy. Time of the goal, 3:31 on the first period. Eagles goal by number 3, Beckett. Assist of number 7.
So Kimball and Kennedy get the assist at 3:31 on Beckett's second of the season. And the Eagles did exactly what they needed to do after 2 shutouts against Southern New Hampshire in November, take an early 1-0 lead. They've done it by just simplifying the game. Bice ahead to Swain up on right wing. He makes a move around the defense of Ryan Uhl. Puck now behind the net. Sticks go flying, and come free with it are the Penn men. They have a 3-man rush if they hurry. 3-on-2, but they change behind the play as up comes Phillips. Phillips with a tough shot that's shouldered away by Kunin, and now a pass out to McMains with the defense changing behind him. Here's Bradley McMains in over the line, bumps off a hit, keeps going with the puck, centered it in front for Delory, who pinched down from his defensive position, and a save there by Burke. Penn men come out with it, a little bit of speed. Carrying ahead is Kaiser. Kaiser centered it in front looking. It goes all the way through. Hirschberger takes a shot, stopped by Kunin. And with 4:55 gone in the first, the Eagles lead 1-0, and a couple of big saves by Ben Kunin to keep it that way.
Yeah, and both teams have the same strategy, right? When they get into the offensive zone, get pucks to the net, look for rebounds, go from there.
So Kennedy gets his team high 14th point and 12th assist. He's slowly moving up the NE10 assist standings. I believe he's now in the top 5, but we will double check that when we get into the second intermission and do our look around the NE10. Play inside the neutral zone, dumped into the Eagles zone all the way around by Minnick. Picked up there by Kennedy, and a shot from the far circle. Still laying there as Kunin couldn't cover it. He made the initial save but couldn't get on top of it, so another shot was taken and just went wide. And now Kennedy wisely will go behind his own net. Aiden Kennedy just got an assist. He's a pass out to Pekka. Again, the Southern New Hampshire defense changing behind him. Pekka would have had a bit of a 2-on-1 if he could have corralled the puck, but McCall steps up nicely and finds Rieger. With the assist for Kennedy, give him another plus. He's up to plus 11 in the NE10, which leads the league. Bucking for freshman of the year is Aiden Kennedy. Back the other way comes McLaughlin. He'll dump it around the dasher all the way from near to far. Picked up in that ever-dangerous Zamboni corner where Watson tries to feed it out. He did find Marchant. Marchant goes back to Watson, but stolen away by O'Connell and sent to center. Good pace early on in this hockey game. We're 6 minutes in, 1-0 Eagles on a goal by Holden Beckett. Puck sent too far down the ice. It'll go past Burke, so that'll be an icing for the Eagles. And then a face-off deep inside the Eagle zone with 6:12 gone in the first period, 1-0 Post. As a reminder, join us tomorrow, 3:30 for Puck Drop, 3:15 pregame as Think Pink at the Rink will take place here on Saturday afternoon hockey at the Sports Center of Connecticut, the second of a 2-game series here between Southern New Hampshire. One off the face-off and rung it off the post was Tyler Murray on a clean win by Coleman Knee. He picked it up and rang it off the far post. Break for the Eagles there as Tyler Murray, the junior out of Barrie, Vermont, who's got 5 goals on the season, just missed tying this game off a face-off win by Coleman Knee. Kunin behind his own net, goes high off the glass, finds Kimball. Kimball's got Swain breaking, instead feeds it to Bice. Bice does a good job to chip it away from the rushing Pompaselli. And Murray will dump it back in all the way, and the Penmen will go off on a line change. Kunin to O'Connell. Feeds Scotty Swain. Swain looking for Kimball, was breaking ahead of him, but actually it was Santoro. He sort of ran into Santoro and lost the puck, and back the other way comes Gray. Gray for the Penmen, looking across, finds Pompaselli, tries to go in a backhand. It goes high in the air, off the netting in the near side corner, and out of play.
Yeah, and face-offs, Jeff, and then even things like that icing, right? You saw, again, we talk about it seems like an innocuous play, but boy, you got to be really careful when you're moving pucks around and you got a like-minded opponent that wants to have zone time and just put pucks to the net like you do.
Face-off won by the Eagles this time. Delory will rim it around the boards to Swain over here. Tries to get it out. It does get chipped away by Santoro out to the neutral zone. Santoro and 4 others fighting for it right at the red line. It's in the skates of Swain, but then taken away by the Penmen. In over the line with a wrist shot and a right pad save. Off the shot by Kyle Slingerland, the 6'2 freshman out of Stittsville, Ontario. Back in the point is Kaiser. Long shot taken by Boucher. Stopped by Kunin again. Puck gets free in the slot, bounces into the corner. Big hit there by Delory. Puck comes back to the point, rimmed around again as Boucher stopped it. Slowly rolling towards Kunin. Now free in the slot for a good opportunity was that was Austin Hirschberger, who found the puck about 15 feet out, but about 5 bodies, including Delory and Glassrud, were in the way. He tried to find a hole, shot it off a body and into the near side crowd.
Yeah, this really looks to be setting up to be a game where face-off wins and possession in your defensive zone is going to be very important.
Lynch and Howe on the draw. As we mentioned, Lynch number 1 in face-offs. Howe also in the top 10, number 9 on face-offs, but Lynch wins that one just based on his percentages. You knew after losing the first one he had a good chance on the second one. Here's McQuegan inside his own zone. Looks to go across the ice, instead send it off the leg, but good backup there by Kennedy, and he dumps it into the Penmen zone. Howell chases it after it. Little back chip pass by Watson right into the slot area. Stolen away by Howell. He'll go back to the point. Kennedy takes a hit but dumps it right back in. Still inside the zone. Then a turnaround pass in front, and it almost went off the leg of McMains and into the net. Then stolen away by McQuegan again. McQuegan on the near side half wall takes a hit, looks for Howell behind the net. McMains chases after it. McMains tries to send it off the body of Burke. It goes off of Burke and then back behind the net. Eagles buzzing a little bit here. Howell back to Rieger on right point, goes behind the net to Howell. Howell tries to center it out in front. It gets blocked. McMains chasing it in the far side corner. He'll take a hit still inside the zone. Kennedy goes high in the air to keep it in nicely. Down is McQuegan, so Kennedy has to avoid him. Goes around to McMains. McMains looking to center it out in front. He had Rieger bouncing down the slot, but that was it. 4 Penmen in between he and Rieger. And then a little bit too far of a dump, and the Penmen ice the puck. No, they say no icing. Not sure what happened under that exchange, but no icing with 9 minutes gone in the first period, 1-0 Eagles. Long pass too far for Macau. They're going to say icing on the Eagles there. I'm not sure what happened on the Penmen icing, as he had the referee pointing as if to keep the players on the ice, and then it got waved off. Face off inside the Eagles' zone.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that could have been there is if you feel like the player is not skating as hard as they could. It looks like they slowed off purposely to try to create the icing. That's why they'll negate it if that's the situation that they deemed.
He just won a faceoff, won it again to Murray, but he didn't have a wide open shot like he did the first time. And the puck gets sent around the boards to Kennedy. Too far. This is going to be another icing as he was looking for Pekka. But that'll go all the way down and lead to another faceoff with 9:16 gone in the first. 1-0 Eagles. Here at the Sports Center of Connecticut on a warmer than it was earlier in the week, Friday night. Nee and Macau on the draw to Kunin's right. Puck just dives right there in the circle. Eventually, Southern New Hampshire comes away with it. Kaiser, who had an opportunity to shoot it, instead rimmed it around, so Kennedy has it behind the net. Taken away briefly, but Pekka gets it out to center. Boucher sends it right back in as the Penmen will tag up. And Kennedy, who's been out there for a while, finally has a chance to change. Feeds it to McDevitt. McDevitt takes a hit, gives a hit, dumps it into the Penmen zone where it's played behind the net by Pekka. But he's all alone down there as his forwards change behind him. And that will allow the puck to come out to center. Wyatt Noble, the seventh defenseman for the Eagles. The Eagles play 7 defensemen today on the ice for the first time. Gives it to Murray, who dumps it into the Penmen zone, played by Boucher. Boucher goes all the way around. It's a dangerous pass, stolen away by Beckett. Beckett comes in with a shot that gets blocked in front by Kaiser, but given away the Penmen and gave it to Beckett, who had an opportunity from about 20 feet out. Puck ribboned around from far to near. Inside the Eagles' zone, stolen away in front and sent off the side of the post to Pompaselli. Comes free in the middle by the crease area and a rim around by Pompaselli. Goes wide. Dump in again, and here's chasing after this. Kimberly scores! Sort of a similar play to the first goal, just kind of a dump inside the zone. Nobody from Southern New Hampshire picked it up, but Baxter Kimball did. And from the top of the far circle, he wristed it past Burke at 10:30 to give the Eagles a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, again, a bit of a miscue there by Southern New Hampshire. So Post able to take advantage of that and build a 2-0 lead here about halfway through the first period.
2-0 Eagles on Kimball's 5th goal of the season, his 9th point. And we'll get you the assist in a moment. Glassroot in his own zone, chasing after it. We'll get you the goal and the assists in a moment. Time was 10:30, and the Eagles have a 2-0 lead, a very important 2-0 lead, as they've played well so far. Good takeaway by Swain as he plays it at center around his back and keeps going into the zone, but finally chopped away. Delory will take it, dump it in. He'll go off on a line change. So will everybody else except Santoro, and a long pass ahead for Ball. Connor Ball, the senior out of Webster, New York. That's the second player this week from Webster, New York, which I've learned about. And then offsides as the puck just gets past the blue line, and Ryan Kaiser could not play it. So the goal officially is Kimball's 5th from Beckett, his second 2-point game in the last 2 weeks at 10:30. And is there some kind of penalty on this? I don't think there is. Just the officials talking to Coach Walsh. Right now the door is open on the Southern New Hampshire bench. Going to get that closed, and they did. Face-off just outside the Eagle zone between McCowell and Lynch. Won by the Eagles, so good job on the face-off so far. Looks ahead for McCowell. Thought that might be an icing as McCowell touched it on the wrong side of the line, but they waved it off. And the puck sent into the far side corner, played by Marchand. McCowell over there as well. Pekka goes back to the point. Fake shot by Kennedy. Takes one, stopped by Burke right on. Kicked into the far side corner. McCowell rims it for McDevitt. Run PMC out for the Eagles. McCowell gets hit as he tried to pass it and lost the puck. And that'll give the Penmen an opportunity to get out as Marchand is crunched inside the Penmen zone. And then Rieger sends a pop fly into Burke, who gloves it. And here's Marchand. Marchand takes a big hit, but manages to make the pass up ahead. Long shot taken, blocked by the leg of Kennedy, and back come the Eagles again. This game getting a lot more hard hitting as Southern New Hampshire has gotten frustrated, being down 2-0 early on. Played just outside the zone by Minnig and then given away to Howell. Howell tried to make a fancy move around Minnig, but he stood tall and took the puck away, but Howell keeps it in. Howell centered it, looking for McQuegan. Had him momentarily, but rolled off his stick into the far side corner. McQuegan fighting. Puck comes free around the net to Rodriguez, the captain. Ethan Rodriguez, the senior out of Sioux City, Iowa, the captain of this Penman Hockey Club. On the half wall is O'Connell trying to rim it around more so than anything, but then lost it to Murray, who had the best opportunity for the Penmen in this first period. He rang it off the post shortly after the Eagles made it 1-0 on a faceoff win. That's been the Penmen best opportunity so far. Now Minnig at center turns it over to Kimball, who scored the most recent Eagle goal. Here's Murray. Spins, leaves it for Kimball. He'll dump it in around the boards, but it gets blocked before it could go deeper than it needed to. And back comes Southern New Hampshire. A long shot from the red line, gloved by Cunin. With 6:53 to go in the first period, 2-0 Eagles. And the Eagles have had a couple of good shifts in a row. Face off to the left of Ben Cunin. Jack Gray and Connor Murray on the draw for the Eagles. They're going to throw Gray out of the faceoff. And Pompiselli will take it. Pompiselli did win it. Eagles trying to get there. Long shot taken from the point, deflected off a leg. And looking for deflection or trying to get it through the screen was a long shot taken by Ryan Kaiser. But into the crowd it goes, and the faceoff returns to the left of Ben Cunin. Penmen change their lines. Eagles will change their lines as Hirschberger comes on. The Hirschberger line comes on for the Penmen with Slingerland and Ball. Face-off, though, won by the Eagles, sent out the center where it'll be played by McLaughlin. McLaughlin looking for Hirschberger, ends up on the stick of Slingerland. Tries to get it in the zone, goes off the linesman onside, and a behind-the-back pass stopped by Trey Delory before it could get to Cunin. And now Delory tries to get it out. He'll take a hit of two Penmen, get it out. It'll roll all the way down and see if it's an icing, and it is, as McLaughlin gets back there to touch it. And with 6:24 to go in the first, the Eagles still lead 2-0. But another face-off deep inside the Eagles' zone as the volume of the music is going up and down. I like AC/DC as much as anybody, maybe not blasting in my ear. Gray and Santoro on the draw to the right of Ben Cunin. Not sure either player was ready for it. Santoro ends up coming away with it to call it an Eagle face-off win. Try the rim and around the Glassroot. Glassroot pins Pompiselli in the Zamboni corner. He's down looking for something. He doesn't have his stick. Then he falls down. He gets taken down. There's going to be a penalty after the play. So Glassroot, who made a gigantic hit on Pompiselli, looked to be hurt, lost his stick, got up, sort of dove on the puck, and then took another hit by Joe Santoro. And the NE10 leader in penalties and penalty minutes gets 2 minutes at 13:50 for, they're calling it interference officially at 13:50. Power play for the Penmen, well, they're second in the NE10, 15 for 71 at 21.1%. The Eagle penalty kill up to fourth now, 65 for 98, 82.36%. Special teams is whether the Penmen have the advantage. They're second on the power play and first in the penalty kill. The Eagles fourth on the penalty kill and obviously last in the NE10 in power play goals. Long shot taken for the point, blocked and sent all the way down by Kimball. So the Eagles are going to have to win the special teams. That's going to be part of the weekend against a good special team opponent. Of all the stats that you can see in these games, that's where the Penmen have. Breaking over the line came Kaiser, but checked off the last second before he went to a backhand. Sends it over here for Watson. They set up the triangle. Long one-timer shot from the top of the far circle, blocked by Kennedy, and played to Kaiser. Kaiser switches spots with Phillips. Phillips, top of the far circle, on the right wing side, holds and waits, looks, tries to center it to Lynch in front. It goes off a leg right to Murray, and he'll send it all the way down. Somehow avoided the roof as he dumped it down, and 1:13 remain on the man advantage at 5:20 in the first period.
Yeah, Post doing a good job of keeping those pucks out of the house with the passes, forcing perimeter play.
Coleman knee dumps it in into the near side corner. Good play by O'Connell. He's being checked by 3 Penmen. Gets it around to the Zamboni wall where Pekka will play it up and just out. Pekka, who had a shorthanded goal, was the game winner on Tuesday against Franklin Pierce. That was the Eagles' first shorthanded goal of the season. Not a ton of shorthanded goals in the NE10 this season. The one makes him tied for second. Pekka tried to get it out, kept in nicely by the Penmen right on the blue line there. Pekka still fighting 1-on-3. Stick goes flying, got broken, and the Eagles come out with it. It's McCall, 2-on-1. He's got Pekka with him, but McCall held up. Didn't see Pekka on his left wing, otherwise it would have been a clean 2-on-1. Probably tired as much as anything. They go off on a line change with 15 seconds remaining on the Penmen's first power play of the game. Trailing 2-0 with 4 minutes to go in period 1. Dumped down by Swain, and that should probably do it for the remainder of the Penmen power play. It will be over now, and the Eagles have killed off the first power play of the game, and the Penmen ice the puck for their troubles with 4:06 to go in the first period. Good job by the Eagles to kill that off. Really only one decent shot, and it never got through. The second-ranked Penmen power play, and Eagle penalty kill continues to do its job.
Yeah, they did a really good job, again, like I say, forcing perimeter play, frustrating, and actually jumping on loose pucks when they were bobbled on the wall and just moving things out. So really good job there by Post.
Puck out to center to Delory, who gloves it down with that 6'5 frame, about 6'9 on skates. Into the far side corner is Rodriguez, spinning away from the check of Norling, gets it up the wall with a nice little chip pass to Jackson Aldrich. Eagles, though, get the puck back and dump it right back in from center. Burke goes near side with it up and around, but not out as Swain keeps it in. Swain looking toward the middle for Norling, streaking through, but a little ahead of him and taken by the Penmen and dumped to center. Hitting has really picked up in the last couple of minutes as well, and there's another hit right there by Ryan Uhl. Puck in the near side corner inside the Penmen zone, shipped out to center and brought ahead by Marchand. Marchand dumps it into the Eagle zone. Big hit there by Kennedy as he took one and gave one with the puck screaming behind the net, and Kennedy comes out with it on the far side. He'll look up the middle to McQuegan, and it's a 3-on-2 rush for the Eagles. McQuegan tried to find McMains. He got it to McMains, but he overskated it, then went back, tried to recenter, and the puck was stolen away and taken out to center. Rieger spins away from the check of Watson, back to Kennedy, looking ahead for McMains. It bounces off his stick and into the netting on the side. With 2:53 to go in the first, the Eagles have a 2-0 lead. Go ahead.
Post doing a good job right now. Of their defensemen's gaps are really good. Best I've actually seen in quite a few games. So they're starting to get better at being consistent with that, and that's frustrated Southern New Hampshire on their ability to gain the zone.
Murray brings it in on the left wing, looks for Kimball, who's got 2 points in the period. Then Murray takes a shot as he came out from behind the net, stopped by Burke, who stayed low and held the post. Penmen get it out to center. Nice little pass to the other side to Tommy Bice, who will get to the red line. He'll dump it right in on Burke. Blockered away into the far side corner as he couldn't glove it. And then a good play by Beckett, who's got 2 points in the period. He'll rim it around to Kimball. Kimball sends it to McCall, kind of a bit of a mix line, probably between line changes as McCall, Beckett, and Kimball out there, and Beckett comes away with it. Beckett, who's got a goal and an assist in the period, looks to center it all the way through. It bounced off a leg. Played by Kimball, rimmed around as McDevitt comes out for Beckett, and the puck sent out to center and took a weird curve onto the stick of Tommy Bice. Bice looking for McDevitt. He found McDevitt, but he fanned on his pass, and then both players overskate. And back comes Pompicelli. Pompicelli trying to get around Captain Delory, but Delory says no. And the puck goes into the near side corner inside the Eagle zone. McDevitt, who takes a hit for his trouble, gets across to Pekka. Pekka, who got hit as well. Again, the hitting is really picked up here in the second half of the period. And Kunin will have it behind his net. Kunin leaves it for Glassrud, who finds Pekka, who gets a nice pass out to Santoro. Santoro, with some speed, tries to go around the defenseman. He takes a hit for his trouble, and the puck comes free out to center. Glassroot dumps it back in, and they play catch. The Southern New Hampshire defense and Tanner Glassroot. And Glassroot will now play it inside his own zone. They'll chip it out the center. Too far for Santoro, but played by Kaiser right back in. Delory will step up as this defensive combo of Delory and Glassroot, 6'5" and 6'7" respectively, back together again after Tuesday. Now here's an opportunity for Norling coming on right wing. He's got the angle, tries to come in with it, chopped it once, chopped it twice, couldn't get it down. A backhand back from Swain to Kennedy on the point. Kennedy tries to go around the defense instead of shooting, and Hirschberger got his body in front of it, and the puck comes away. Over the line, offsides though, as that pass was for Slingerland, and it went too far all the way onto the stick of Ball, and Slingerland was offsides. And the faceoff just outside the Eagles' zone. 41.4 to go in the first, 2-0 Eagles.
Yeah, that was good transition by Southern New Hampshire with the 3-on-2, but just a little too anxious, gotten over the line for the offsides.
Ethan Rodriguez dumps it in and around, but he's on the other side of the red line. That's going to be an icing. Bad play there. Needless play there by Southern New Hampshire. Now put a faceoff deep inside their own zone with 35-5 to go. In the first period, 2-0, and a face-off to the left of goaltender Colin Burke, the 6', 190 sophomore out of Crofton, Maryland, second in the NE10 in shutouts with 3, second in the NE10 in save percentage at .939, and leads the NE10 in goals against with a 2.04. So the Eagles have already got 2 on Burke in the first period, pretty close to that goals against average that he owns. Puck dumped and it goes off the linesman as it was tipped by McQuegan, and back the other way comes Watson on a 2-man rush with Marchant. Watson takes a shot toward the net, goes off a leg. Lynch thought about recentering, instead spinned it away, went on a backhand toward the net, taken by Bice. Bice gets it out to Howell with 10 seconds remaining in the first. Watson's body stopped that puck. It's dumped back into the Penmen zone, and barring a turnover, that should do it for the first period here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, but a hit behind the play, and a Southern New Hampshire player down. Doesn't appear to be any penalty. I'm not sure if he hit an Eagle or missed an Eagle and hit the wall. That player down is Brian McLaughlin, the 5'9 sophomore out of San Pedro, California. He's on one knee but struggling to get up as the period ends. Doesn't appear to be any kind of penalties, and I did not see if he just hit somebody or missed somebody. But that's how the period ends, Coach. 2-0 Eagles, and they've done everything they want to do. The goals were extremely simple in the fact that it was just kind of a dump, and one player chased down a puck, had a breakaway, and one player found it on the top of the far circle and ripped it by Burke. And that's where we are, 2-0.
Yeah, and right now, Post is just a step or two quicker than Southern New Hampshire. So, you know, I'm sure if you're Post, right, you're going to be talking about the importance of doing what you did in that first period, keeping the play simple, paying attention, because they do have the opportunities, Southern New Hampshire, to jump on loose pucks and to win draws and put that pressure on you in the offensive zone. So, you know, if you're Post, try to shore up things a little bit in terms of icing and that, right? Stay away from that. And if you're Southern New Hampshire, I'm sure Sean Walsh is going to have a discussion with his team, and he's going to look for a bit more intensity and a little more passion out of the guys.
It's been a fun game so far. The hitting picking up. Southern New Hampshire 0 for 1 on the man advantage. But we will come back in 2 minutes with our look around the Post University sports scene. In 2 minutes, you're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the CACC Network and YouTube.com/GoPostEagles. First period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut in Shelton, Connecticut, as we're downstairs this afternoon. And the Eagles have a 2-0 lead against Southern New Hampshire on goals by Holden Beckett, his second, and Baxter Kimball, his fifth for the Eagles. But as we do in the first period intermission of every post-university home game, we go around the post-university sports scene, and that's brought to you by Post-University and its 17 NCAA Division II programs. From golf to football to hockey, there's something for everyone to enjoy, whether a student, a parent, or a fan. For more information on post-university athletics, news, scores, and upcoming schedules for all your favorite teams, go to posteagles.com. That's posteagles.com. Eagle fans, are you ready to update your closet and represent your Eagle fandom wherever you are, whenever you are, every day, every way, and everywhere? Whether you're walking around campus, rocking in the nest, strolling the neighborhood, on vacation, or even out with that special someone. And don't forget, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. It's time to show your school pride. Go to posteagles.com, click on the fans section on the right-hand side, then click on School Store to get your Post Eagle gear. Use the code SPRINT15, SPRINT15, between now and Sunday, January 26th at checkout to receive $15 off your order of $75 or more. Exclusions do apply. That's code SPRINT15. And it expires on Sunday, January 26th. You can also visit the campus store and the Lever Student Center on campus. They're open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Jeff Nelson up here in the broadcast booth with you, and we'll start with the women's hockey program, who had a big win today upstairs earlier today, 2-1 in overtime, as the Eagles continue their march out of 7th place in the NEWHA. And a good job they did today. Game-winning goal by Carissa Kell at 3:18 of overtime. Eagles got a goal late in the third period to tie it by Angeline Pitter after trailing 1-0 to Assumption midway through the third period. But Angeline Pitter unassisted with 11 seconds remaining in regulation time. And then Carissa Kell at 3:18 of overtime gives the Eagles a gigantic 2-1 win against Assumption. With the win, the Eagles move to 7-9-3 in the NEWHA, 7-15-3 overall. The Eagles are now tied for 6th with Assumption and are only 3 points out of 4th place, 2 behind Stonehill and 3 behind 4th place St. A's. If you get a top 4 seed, you host the home portion of the 3-game series in the NEWHA playoffs. Still plenty of time to go. But the Eagles crawling their way out of 7th place, now tied with Assumption in 6th. These two teams will play again tomorrow up at Assumption. That game will start at, I believe it's 6 o'clock. Let's just double check the time. It's 5:30 tomorrow up at Assumption. And then the next home series will begin a week from tonight against St. A's at 8 o'clock. A 2-game set, 8 o'clock on Friday and 2:30 p.m. a week from Saturday. That's the women's hockey program, who are now 7-9-3 in the NEWHA on a 2-game winning streak. On the basketball side, well, actually, we'll stick with the hockey side, where Julia Wysocki and Rowan Ringer have been named to the NEWHA honor roll for the post-university Eagles. Wysocki continued her torrid stretch throughout the week during their lone game, which was a 3-2 win over Franklin Pierce. At home, Wysocki scored the first 2 goals of the game and finished the week with 2 goals and 2 points, making it 4 straight games with at least a point, now 3 consecutive 2-goal games. Before today, Wysocki is now the program leader in points at 46, surpassing Jenna Abeta for the most in program history. And Rowan Ringer on a roll for Rookie of the Week. She extended her point streak before today to 4 straight games with the Eagles' win over Franklin Pierce. She assisted on a pair of goals by Julia Wysocki and now has 12 on the year, tying the single-season program record set by Kirsten Browning back in the 22-23 season. So congratulations to the both of them. Basketball, we'll start with the women, coming off a 63-58 loss to Caldwell earlier in the week. With the loss, the Eagles fall to 4-14 overall, 3-4 in the CACC. Caldwell goes to 9-8, 4-2 in the CACC. A tough overall performance as Caldwell went 9 for 14, amongst other things, from 3-point range. And the Eagles just could not continue their winning ways as that broke a 2-game losing streak. Alyssa Rossignol continued her double-digit point streak, extending it to 4 games with 15 points Lucy Coogan led the way for Caldwell with 22 points. Post returns back to the Drubner Center tomorrow, 1 o'clock, as they will host Jefferson University before they start a 3-game road trip. The Eagles have never beaten the Jefferson Rams in program history. They are 0-21 lifetime and fell 74-53 to them on the road earlier this season. For the men, they dropped a 1-point loss to Caldwell earlier in the week, 57-56. Unable to capitalize on their opportunities to win the game. The Eagles shot a season low 35% from the floor, 21 for 60. But just could not get it done. They led multiple times throughout the game, but fall to 10-9 overall, 4-3 in conference. Caldwell moves up to 12-5 overall, 4-2 in conference. Bull Lacotte recorded his 10th straight game, finishing with 10-plus points after scoring a team-high 14 on 5 of 10 shooting. He now has 17 games this season in which he's reached double-digit points. The Eagles will host Jefferson tomorrow at 3 o'clock after the women's game. Last season in the CACC tournament, the Eagles fell 70-58 and are now 4-23 all-time against Jefferson heading into the weekend. Last time they beat them was 2 years ago. That's your look around the post-university sports scene. A busy post-university sports scene on Friday night here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. We'll come back in 2 minutes with a recap of the first period. In 2 minutes, you're listening and watching the Post-University Hockey on the CACC Network and YouTube.com/GoPostEagles. Back here, first period intermission. Jeff Nelson, the coach. Pete Whitney here with you with the first period recap. As the Eagles have a 2-0 lead. They did it, again, very simply, and we talk about the simple plays. A dump in by Aiden Kennedy that sort of split the defense of the Southern New Hampshire Penmen, and in racing with his speed was Holden Beckett. He picked up the puck at the top of the circles and came in on a breakaway and shot it glove side high over Colin Burke, and the Eagles took a 1-0 lead at 3:31 of the first period. Give an assist to Baxter Kimball on that as well. So Beckett, his second from Kimball and Kennedy, his team high 12th assist and 14th point at 3:31. Another very similar play. This time it was Beckett doing the dumping as he just kind of dumped it in from the right side of the red line. A little bit of a cross-corner type of dump, again, between the two defensemen. And Baxter Kimball raced after it, picked it up at the top of the far circle and ripped it by Burke, who was shocked to see the shot at 10:30. And the Eagles took a 2-0 lead for Kimball, his 5th of the season. Beckett's 2nd point of the period and game. Shots on goal in the first period for Post 10, for Southern New Hampshire 9. Faceoffs were 13-11 in favor of Southern New Hampshire in the faceoff battle between Brendan Lynch. He was 5 out of 7, and Joe Santoro also 5 out of 7. Coach, good first period for the Eagles overall. Not much to say poorly, but Southern New Hampshire, as we just discussed off air, started to pick up the hitting to create some time and space as the period went on.
No, they did for sure. And what Post is doing well is because their defensemen are creating very good gaps for themselves in the neutral zone, you can do that when your forwards come back. So they're doing that. So when those pucks get deep, they're in a position to transition because they're back, they're gapped, but now the forwards are there supporting them, so they're close to them, so it's much easier to transition and break pucks out. It's a whole formula, right? If you can be closing your gaps in the neutral zone and get support from your forwards, it's going to be much easier to transition the puck, and so far they've been able to do that. So that's something to point out to them, obviously, in the locker room, and keep that piece of your game up.
Penman also 0 for 1 on the power play in the first period. Good job by the Eagles on that penalty kill. Don't forget to join us tomorrow, 3:30 puck drop, 3:15 pregame on the CACC network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles as the Eagles play game 2 of this gigantic 2-game weekend series against Southern New Hampshire. It's also Think Pink in the Rink afternoon in support of breast cancer and cancer in general, against breast cancer and cancer and those who it affects. There'll be a raffle tomorrow, 50-50 draw, and several other things going on here. So if you're looking for something to do on a cold Saturday, come on down to the Sports Center of Connecticut and support your Post University Eagles in their second-to-last home game of the regular season here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, 3:15 pregame. Get down here early, get your seats as well, as this place can fill up in a hurry. Last home game of the season will be Valentine's Day afternoon as the Eagles will host Franklin Pierce on February 14th. That's after a 4-game road trip. Southern New Hampshire in the road blue and gold, going left to right as you look at your screen and dial. The Eagles in the home white, going right to left. Crowd filling in nicely, and we expect it to fill in a little bit more as after the game is the open skate. So nothing like a lot of teenagers hanging out in the third period. Kind of gets the crowd a little louder as the game moves along.
Yeah, you get them, you get some of the younger kids, which hopefully are future fans.
O'Connell behind his own net, looking out in the middle. Dangerous pass, but taken by Murray with some speed. Murray has O'Connell over the line. He stops on a dime, spins it around the boards. O'Connell, the defenseman, pinching in. Now Beckett behind the net, trying to get there, but a good play there by Ball, and gets it back out to center. Eagles dump and chase strategy working well for them early on. They have a 2-0 lead here at the beginning of the second period. Puck dumped in behind Ben Kunine, who's made 9 saves so far. Here's Kimball, who's got a goal, his 5th of the season. He gets it out to center, and it's sent right back in by Adam Boucher around past Kunine, but played by Delory. Delory sends it up the wall, tries to get it out, and they do a good job, and Connor Murray picks it up with some speed up on left wing. Murray spins at the circle, tries to go back to center point, finds Kimball breaking in. Kimball goes in the Zamboni corner, spins, opportunity for Kennedy now. Top of the slot, now brings it over to the left-hand side. Kennedy spins away. Now center point changes places with Rieger. Instead, he'll just dump it in around the board. Santoro tries to get there. He'll take a hit by Kaiser. And the Eagles turn it over, but then the Penmen turn it over and it's kept in the zone. Here's Santoro with time and space. Rebound shot hit off the post. As the Penmen turned it over just inside the blue line, thought they were going to get it out, and Santoro had a 2-on-1 down low. He took a shot that Burke stopped, and then Scotty Swain had a yawning cage and hit the post. With 1:26 gone in the second period, a golden opportunity for the Eagles to take a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, both teams so far have traded posts. And, you can just see how quickly the game turns on one little play.
And Burke is being pulled. I don't know if he's injured or what has happened, but in comes Sean Guerin, and maybe this is more to wake his team up a little bit, as Sean Guerin has replaced Colin Burke, the NE10 leader in goals against average and second in save percentage. We'll get to his stats in a moment, as it doesn't appear that Burke is hurt as he's standing on the side of the bench. Coach, maybe this is just something to wake the Penmen up a little bit?
Yeah, it's either that or there is something that, maybe that's affecting his mobility in the net that happened in that first period. They thought he'd give it a go, and not sure.
So put a circle around that one with 1:26 gone in the second period. Colin Burke is removed from the game. Again, we don't know if there's an injury, but he does seem to be standing at the benches okay. He's not being looked at by trainers.
Yeah, I don't see anybody attending to him, so I got to guess it's just a play on the part of Coach Walsh to try to wake his team up here a bit.
Puck won by Southern New Hampshire behind the net, and they'll be able to carry it out. And brought Coleman Knee to center. He'll dump it in. Delory and Noble will chase after it for the Eagles. Noble wins it up the wall, but a good play by Boucher to keep it in. Then he turned it over to Noble again. Noble gets to center. Long pass up on right wing to McMains. McMains fighting off a check, gets it behind the net, tried to center it out in front. Bounced off the body, I believe, of Sean Guerin, the new Southern New Hampshire goaltender. And out to center it goes. McQuegan sends it right back in. Guerin touching the puck really for the first time in the period. Sends it up the wall, but Howell plays it behind the net, goes behind the back with a pass in front from McQuegan. It rolled off his stick and then off his leg and into the corner. Out of the zone with it comes Tyler Murray. He'll dump it in. The Penmen will go for a complete line change. Long pass ahead if they can find them. Glassrud tried to find him, and he did find McMains when it bounced off his stick. Good look by Glassrud, but the puck just bounced a little bit too much to get on McMain's stick. Howell kept it in momentarily. O'Connell then couldn't keep it in behind him, and back goes Glassrud inside his own zone, being chased by Jack Gray. Glassrud using that 6'7" frame to body off Gray, but then turned the puck over. Passed into the slot, and a penalty on, I think they're going to call Glassrud for slashing at 3:37. And the Penmen will go to their second man advantage. Here in the game. Just quickly, Sean Guerin, 6'3", 180 sophomore out of Chicago, Illinois. He's 0-5-0 on the season with a .524 goals against average and an .836 save percentage. He has replaced Colin Burke at the 126 mark of the second period. Again, doesn't appear to be injury related as Burke's over there slamming on the wall with no people looking at him, but we don't know that for sure. But looks like Coach Walsh is sending a message to his team. That's our guest here in the broadcast center. Glassrud 2 for slashing, and the Penmen on their second man advantage at 0 for 1. In over the line comes Kaiser. He takes a bad angle shot that goes off Kunin's stick to the near side corner. Back to the point and then stolen away and sent all the way down by the Eagles' Aiden Kennedy. 4 minutes gone in the second, 2-0 Eagles. Back the other way comes Kaiser. He gets to center and then turns it over, but the Eagles couldn't get it all the way down the ice as Kennedy shot it into a leg, and now it's dumped in by Dylan Phillips. Phillips tried to play it up the wall. He turned it over to Kennedy again, and he sends it all the way down the ice. Good job by Aiden Kennedy, who has an assist in this game and leads the NE10 in plus-minus in getting the puck out and down. Delory plays it at center. Now Pekka trying to use his speed to get around Adam Boucher. Good check by Boucher. McCall trying to help out. Now Pekka chases Boucher. And the puck still out at center. Cross corner dump in all the way into the near side corner. And then a turnover by the Eagles. Shot taken, but a good stick there by Wyatt Noble to get on the shot taken by Pompaselli. And that puck deflects into the far side crowd with 4:49 gone in the second and 49 seconds remaining on the Tanner Glassrud slashing penalty.
Yeah, Southern New Hampshire is still unable to find any rhythm so far in their power play with post pressuring at the right times and disrupting that.
Santoro and Knee on the draw to Kunin's left. Won by Santoro. Nice job to get that puck up to Scotty Swain. Swain then gets taken down, and the Southern New Hampshire power play will come to an end as Adam Boucher will get 2 minutes for, let's see if they'll call it interference, and that's what it is, at 4:55, and that'll end the Penmen's second power play with 42 seconds remaining on it. will play 4-on-4, and then the Eagles will go to their first man advantage. Good job by Scotty Swain.
Yeah, good job by Scott using his speed there to draw that penalty.
Santoro, Swain, O'Connell, and Bice, the 4 Eagles on the ice. Devlin on the draw for the Penmen. One back to Ryan Kaiser. They'll have Anthony Marchant out there with him as well, and Brian McLaughlin. Here's Marchant. Gets the center, dumps it in around the boards. O'Connell will play it in the near side corner. Santoro pinching down to help out as well as 4 players fight for it in that corner. Comes free to Tommy Bice, who'll get it to Scotty Swain. Now Swain with some speed trying to go around Marchant. He does, but good job by Marchant to get it back from him. Otherwise, that would have been a 2-on-1 for the Eagles. Good play there by Anthony Marchant, the 5'8" right wing out of Norwood, Massachusetts. 5 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4. O'Connell gets the center, tried to rim it in, but then turned it over. Opportunity for the Penmen the other way, but a nice step up by Tommy Bice to take the puck away. And now the Eagles are on their first power play of the game. They're 3 for 56 on the season. We all know the troubles. 5.4% power play percentage. That's last in the NE10. As we mentioned, Southern New Hampshire, number 1 in the NE10 in penalty kill. They're 55 for 60 on the season. That's an impressive 91.7%. Here's Kimball over the line with 50 seconds remaining on the Eagles' first power play behind the Howe. Howe rims it up to Kennedy. Kennedy on right point. Looks down in the Zamboni corner to Howe. Howe changes places with Kennedy. Kennedy fakes his shot, gives it to Murray. Murray takes a return pass, has Rieger top of the slot. Rieger holds, waits, shoots, looking for a deflection. It just went wide, then bounced off the back wall and sent all the way back to center. Good setup. Rieger didn't really want to shoot it. When he finally did, it went off the back wall. Bounced kind of back out. Eagles had an opportunity, but were unable to capitalize. Puck rimmed from near to far around inside the Penmen zone as the Eagles go off on a line change on the man advantage, and now 15 seconds remain on the Eagles' first power play of the game. 2-0 post here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Rieger looking for Swain, goes behind him as Norling goes into the zone, so the Eagles will tag up, and that'll do it for the Eagles' first man advantage of the game, a partial man advantage, but they still lead 2-0. Norling, a fancy move, a couple of fancy moves, walks in, saved by Guerin. Rebound shot from the point, blocked in front, never gets to Guerin. Rims around to Swain. Swain in the Zamboni corner. What a great set of moves there by Norling, and he had a shot stopped by Guerin. In front to Delory, back in front, shot, score! What give and go passing there! And Scotty Swain on a beautiful give and go with Delory at 7:15 beats Sean Guerin, the new Penmen goaltender, and the Eagles have a 3-0 lead, so they can't do it on the power play, Coach, but they do it at even strength, and what a setup there.
Yeah, right now Post is just completely has Southern New Hampshire back on their heels. Post playing with confidence and poise, and Southern New Hampshire struggling to keep up with them at this point.
7:15 the time of the goal. Beautiful job in the give and go between by Swain and Delory. Right now, the only assist to Delory. We'll have to go back and take a look to see if Parker Norling should get an assist as well. But for the moment, it's going to be Swain, his 4th of the season, from Captain Delory at 7:15. And the Eagles have a 3-0 lead here at the Sports Center of Connecticut in a gigantic game for the Eagles and a gigantic weekend overall, not just for the program as a whole in regards to the hockey on the ice, but to the Think Pink in the rink tomorrow afternoon here at the Sports Center off the ice. Puck inside the Eagle zone being spun around by the Penmen, who try to center it out in front. It does get onto the body of Kunin as it was deflected as Dylan Phillips centered a pass. Not sure who got their stick on it down low. Might have been Pompaselli that deflected it on to Kunin, but he makes the save with 7:46 gone in the second period. Eagles have a 3-0 lead. Face off to the left of Ben Kunin, won cleanly by Southern New Hampshire. Here's Kaiser. Kaiser sends it toward the net. Kunin makes another save and then gloves it whole before anybody could get there. A little pushing and shoving after the play. Coach, Eagles haven't had too many 3-0 leads, even in the course of the season in the winning streak. What's sort of the message? Just keep doing what you're doing? Don't back off?
Well, sure. I mean, again, simplicity in their game has been the difference maker. So keep that in your head. Don't look for the players will often get, when you get a larger lead, they'll start to look for the quote unquote better play when it's just simply sometimes it's the prettier play. So keep it simple. Keep putting pucks to the net and keep playing well defensively. Don't cheat the game.
Murray won the faceoff this time for Coleman Nee, who took a shot that got blocked in front, never got to Kunin. Glasser just throws to the ice down Jackson Aldridge. And the Eagles come away with the puck. Here's Murray. Gets to the red line, dumps it high in the air. Will be caught by Guerin for the whistle. Nothing Guerin could do on that goal, and quite honestly, the most unsimple play that they've made all year, all game, was the give it go between Swain and Delory. That was a little challenging, and it worked out.
That's that classic play, right? It's a pass right across the Royal Road, as they use the term, right? And that was a difference maker. Goaltender didn't get a chance to push out to it, so it was just a great play.
As we mentioned, we don't know why exactly Colin Burke was pulled. He seems to be okay over there, but he didn't. The two goals that got by him, he really didn't have any ability to stop them. One was a breakaway, and one was just a great shot. And then the goal scored on Guerin here. He had no opportunity either. One of the Eagles is down behind the player. There's going to be a penalty on Southern New Hampshire. And we'll see what that call is. Might be boarding. And I can't see who the Eagle is behind the play. Might be Aiden Kennedy, actually. And I'm only guessing that because Rieger's out there as well, and they usually are always on the ice together. And all this with 11:26 to go in the second. It is Aiden Kennedy who's able to get to his knees as he tries to get himself up. His teammates over there to help him. Going to be a boarding penalty. Question is going to be 2 or 5. Looks like it's 2 on the board right now, but the officials are still talking to each other. See if there's anything more. Kennedy still down as the trainer out there to help him as well. Coach, I didn't see the hit. Did you?
I didn't see it specifically, but he's holding the back of his head, so either boards or glass he must have made contact with.
So Kyle Slingerland, the 6'2", freshman from Stittsville, Ontario, gets 2 for boarding at 8:34 right now. The Eagles' leading scorer and the man bucking for Rookie of the Year in the NE10, Aiden Kennedy, down on the ice behind Ben Kunin inside the Eagle zone. He's the one who got boarded. And hopefully he is okay. Once he's able to get up, the Eagles will have their second power play of the game. First one was an abbreviated one, and they are 0 for 1 on the man advantage. .34 gone in the second period. Now Aiden Kennedy up on both knees, trying to get up on his own power, and he does. With the help of the trainer and now a couple of his teammates going over there to help him out as well, as the freshman from Schaumburg, Illinois, who leads the NE10 in plus-minus and got his 12th assist of the season in the first period, now able to skate off under his own power. And that's excellent news for both Aiden and the Eagles. He'll go behind the bench where he can be checked out by the training staff a little bit further. Eagles on their second man advantage. First one was abbreviated as Lynch gets thrown out of the faceoff for Stone Devlin. Howell tried to win it, but Devlin got it and sent behind the net. Heavy shot, heavy dump gets out of the zone and all the way back into the Eagle zone where Delory will play it. Delory goes to Bice. He's got Norling, Swain, and Howell out there as those are the Eagle 5 on the man advantage. Here's Norling carrying it in over the line, trying to go through too many legs, and he gave up the puck. And it gets sent back into the Eagle zone. Delory, who has an assist on the most recent Eagle goal, with the Eagles leading 3-0, leaves it for Tommy Bice. Bice carrying it out, fakes the pass, keeps going, gets to center, gives to Delory. Delory carries it in, goes back to Bice center point. Bice Sends it toward the net, looking for a deflection. He got one. It's now in front of the net, and diving on top of it is Sean Guerin. And now some pushing and shoving at the side of the net between Norling and a frustrated Ryan Uhl, with 1:17 to go on the Eagles' second power play and 10:42 to go in period number 2. The Eagles lead 3-0.
Yeah, you're up 3-0. Any opportunity you get to skate away, you got to skate away, not give your opponent a victory on any level in any aspect.
Good job by Jacob Howell there to pull the sophomore Norling away for any kind of needless penalty can be called. Though the chirping seems to have picked up a little bit, particularly after the boarding penalty, as Kennedy still behind the bench being looked at. Santoro lost the draw into the Zamboni corner, has ripped up the wall but kept in nicely as Rodriguez couldn't get it out. Wyatt Noble taking Kennedy's spot on the power play. Santoro comes out of the Zamboni corner looking in front for the deflection. Excuse me, that was Kimball who came out looking for Santoro and just through the crease. Now Murray to Santoro down in the corner, gives to the bumper position to Kimball, but had it checked off a stick by Marchant and dumped all the way down the ice. Moved that a little too slowly, and that was why Marchant was able to get the puck off of Kimball's stick. Now, a nice play coming back in the other way. Santoro trying to get it on his forehand, puts it toward the net and stopped by Guerin. As a good pass to Santoro, but he couldn't get it on the forehand to rip the shot. And by the time he did, he got stick checked, and the puck rolled in on Guerin, who makes the save, with 41 seconds to go on the man advantage and 10:07 to go in the second period. Swain, Norling, and Howell now the Eagle three forwards with Bice and Delory. Puck won by Swain, looking for Bice. They almost collide. Now Tommy Bice has it. Bice closing in, gives into the corner to Howell. Howell comes out, top of the near circle, leaves it for Swain. Swain closing in, down low to Bice. Bice trying to find the corner, picked one, and then a whistle. And Norling pushing and shoving again. I think it's the same two, Uhl and Norling. Eventually they're going to get two each.
Yeah, that was a good look by Tommy there, just sliding in off his defensive position there, and had a little bit of net, but still a great play to just, again, get some zone territory in here. 25 seconds left. See if we can possess the puck, set something up.
I think maybe we can take some of that $3,000 and invest it in marsh pegs.
Yeah.
given where it's gone, can we just give it to marsh pegs? That'll keep the puck on its moorings a little bit longer. Swain looking across. He's got a streaking Delory. Finds Delory with a shot that gets blocked by the sliding Uhl. Good look by Scotty Swain, trying to return the favor, as that's how Swain scored his goal on a give and go with Delory. But a nice pinch up by Captain Trey Delory. Good look, good pass by Swain, and Delory's shot was blocked by a good play by the sliding Ryan Uhl. Eagles' second man advantage is over. They are now 0 for 2 on the man advantage. They fall to 3-58 on the season. And a little bit of a hook that Brian McLaughlin tried to sell, but the referees weren't buying it. And the puck kept in the zone. Now Howell lays a big hit on Kaiser, and back the other way comes Swain, who avoids most of the hit by Brian McLaughlin, and then Howell hits McLaughlin from behind. No penalties called. McLaughlin is down, as McLaughlin kind of tried to run Swain. Swain avoided most of the hit. Howell was not happy with that and hit him, maybe cross-checked him a little bit at 11:01. And after that hit, he has been prone in front of us here on the blue line. McLaughlin has, and we'll see if there are going to be any penalties called. Referees and linesmen talking.
Yeah, this is where they can refer to the lines, and the linesmen can have some input as to what they may have seen behind the play.
Delory and Ethan Rodriguez standing in the crescent circle as the officials talk it over. Again, McLaughlin tried to, lack of a better term, crunch Scotty Swain. Swain did a good job to avoid most of that hit, and Jacob Howell, not too happy with that attempt, hit McLaughlin. I'm not sure it was illegal or not, but it was a heavy hit after he attempted to hit Swain. He's able to skate off under his own power, but he is clearly hurt. Doesn't look like there are going to be any penalties. Coach Walsh not very happy, as he's staring down the officials. And it looks like we're going to be at full strength here, Coach, with 8:59 to go in the second. Still 3-0 Eagles.
Yeah, we'll see here. This throwing some wood on the fire here, so we'll see where this goes from here.
And lest everybody in our listening audience not forget, we're not even just over a period and a half into what will be 6 periods of hockey.
Yeah.
So if you want to see some fun tomorrow, come on out here to the Sports Center of Connecticut on Think at the Rink Day and come watch some fun college hockey.
And the more people that show up, Jeff, the bigger the 50-50 pot will be too.
Absolutely. So referee still talking to Coach Walsh, who doesn't seem particularly happy. Not going to tell you I don't blame him, but face-off just outside the Eagles' zone. We'll see if the referees sort of rein this in a little bit, because it's gotten incredibly physical. Really, after the Eagles made it 2-0 in the first period, the physicality really stepped up. But in this period, we've had Aiden Kennedy get hurt. I don't want to say injured yet, because I'm not sure he's coming back into the game, but hurt on a boarding penalty. And then we just had Brian McLaughlin go down on no penalty. And we've had plenty of pushing and shoving between Norling and Uhl. So we will see where this game goes and if the referees try to control it a little bit more as it goes on. Southern New Hampshire is frustrated at this point, trailing 3-0. Here's Rieger looking across the ice. That's going to be not far enough for an icing. That's going to force Kaiser to go back and play it. So Murray will hit Kaiser with a good clean hit. In there is Gray to try to help out. Murray falls down on top of the puck. He's sort of in a curl position. I don't know if he is hurt as well, or he just fell on top of the puck and wanted to protect his body. Looks like the latter versus the former, and with 8:24 to go in the second period, a face-off outside the Penn men's zone. Stay with us in the second intermission. We'll go around the NE10. We'll try to mix it up a little bit because we did have our NASA scientists go through the standings, and it's amazing how unclear they are. But we have cleared it up. We've created our own spreadsheet that explains everything. And we'll give you the NE10 conference standings, a bunched up conference standings where team 2, 3, 4, and 5 are 2 points apart. Watson inside his own zone, spinning off the check of Glassrud. Glassrud had a good job pinning him there. And then O'Connell comes over to help out, checking on Marchand. Glassrud lays a hit down on Lynch. Puck sent around the boards behind the net. Glassrud in that 6-7 reach trying to get there first. McCall tried to send it up the wall but couldn't. Now Lynch, a long shot that just goes wide. He tried to pick a corner and missed. Kept in the zone though by the Penn men. Glassrud will play it behind his own net, try to avoid the hit from Watson. He'll rim it around to Pekka. Pekka dangerously in the middle. You don't want to make that pass. Break for Pekka as it went off a leg and over to Glassrud. Dangerous pass though by Mateo Pekka. You don't want to just blindly send that into the slot area. And Southern New Hampshire almost found a gift. Bice takes a long pass, almost gets dumped into his own bench. Pekka will win the race to it, try to avoid the hit as he gets taken down behind the play by Boucher. Out the other way comes Aldridge. Aldridge looking for Knee. Knee tries to dump it in. He dumps it right on Kunin, who gets a little bit of a shower on the flyby by Aldridge with 7:17 to go in the second, still 3-0. Dangerous play there by Mateo Pekka, one of the few times I can say not the best play by him.
Yeah, it's important, with the speed of the game, you have to see through those layers, and Mateo might have seen something that, or not seen something that was just out of his line of sight, too.
Good to see Aiden Kennedy back on the ice for the Eagles after being boarded. He's back on his defense position, and Norling will rim it around the board from near to far inside the Penn men's zone. It comes on the stick of Scotty Swain. He tries to make a move toward the net, avoids one hit, but gets checked. And now a good stick check on Scotty Swain by Jackson Aldridge, and the Penn men try to get it out, but they turn it over inside the blue line again. Here's Norling with a shot toward the net that goes high and wide, bounces out off the side of the net on the mesh. Referee blew that whistle very quickly as it did bounce off the mesh behind the net, but another turnover by Southern New Hampshire just inside the blue line. That's their third or fourth of this period, and probably could count a few more in the first period. That may be why goaltender Colin Burke was pulled at the 1:26 mark of the second period. Again, doesn't appear to be any injury to Colin Burke, but Sean Guerin has replaced him. He's given up one goal in this period. Nothing he could do on that goal, just a great play by Delory and Swain. Coach Walsh trying to find something to wake his team up, trailing 3-0. Howell gets it in front of McQuegan, tried to get it on his forehand. Couldn't do it. And back the other way comes Slingerland. Slingerland, the pass too far for Kaiser. And Delory will play it in his own zone, looking for Wyatt Noble. Noble to Howell, who will tip it. Nope, maybe didn't get it. Thought Howell got it. I guess he didn't. So an icing call. Some of the fans a little incredulous here. With 6:32 to go in the second, 3-0 Eagles. Face off deep inside the Eagle zone to the right of Ben Kunin. Howell on the draw for the Eagles against Jack Gray. Won by Gray, then sent deep into the far side corner. And Noble will rim it around from McQuegan, who originally was going to just dump it out, instead turned and looked for a pass and got it out the center, but then stolen away by the aggressive Dylan Phillips. Gray inside his own zone, being tracked by McMains, gets a nice pass up to Watson. Watson carries it in over the line as the Penmen lines are a little bit mixed up at the moment based on the typical line combinations, and the puck sent all the way to center and all the way back to Uhl. Uhl looking for Watson, rolls off Watson's stick. Gray trying to chase it down. Penmen keep it inside the zone. It's Phillips. Phillips looking to send it to Hirschberger. Gets it over to Hirschberger, but on the far right wall, and then back to the point for a shot through a maze of legs and players. And Brian McLaughlin, who just went off the ice injured, good to see him back out there. He took a little slap shot from the blue line area on the right side through a maze of legs and bodies, and Kunin makes a good save there.
Yeah, Southern Hampshire's going to have to move that puck quicker and have a quicker release if they hope to get some offensive momentum going here in their favor.
Hirschberger and Murray on the draw to the left of Ben Kunin. 3-0 post. Murray thrown out of the draw. 5:47 to go in the second period. Kimball in there, who has a goal and an assist in this game. Lost the draw, but the Eagles able to get it out to center, and Murray makes a nice little spinorama play, tries to get inside the Penmen zone. Tried to dump it, but three Penmen collide it in him. And then they turn it over at the blue line once again. Here's Beckett with a shot toward the net, high and juggled by Guerin, who caught it high and brought it down low. But another turnover at the blue line by the Penmen. And the Eagles, again, just simple, put it on net, force Guerin to make a save with 5:30 to go in the second. Murray and Hirschberger on the draw to the left of Guerin. Won by Murray, but played by Boucher, and he'll rim it from far to near, but never got it to his forward, Slingerland, so it gets sent right back behind the net by Beckett. Slingerland tried to play it up the wall, and this time they get it out the center where Beckett will dump it right back in. Eagles tag up. Murray goes in chasing after Ryan Kaiser. Kaiser goes across to his D partner Boucher, goes right back to Kaiser. Dangerously, though, with Murray standing there. And then almost another turnover at the blue line as Pekka stepped up. And then Glassrud hits Kaiser. Now coming back in 2-on-1 with an opportunity are the Penmen. A shot stopped by Kunin right on. As behind the play there was a couple of players hitting each other. And then a shot toward the net that Kunin makes the save on. On a spinorama play by Slingerland. With 4:50 to go in the second, still 3-0. Couple of good saves by Ben to keep this game where it is.
Yeah, a lot of looking around on at players looking at each other on Southern New Hampshire's side there. They really seem out of sync right now.
Is that the score, coach, or is that just the way the Eagles are playing?
Well, I think it's going to be a combination, right? When you're down 3-0, when it was a team that the last two times you played them couldn't get a goal on you, you're trying to figure out what's happened.
Pompicelli takes a shot that gets blocked in front. Good job there. Pekka tries to get it out. McCowell tried to send it down, but I think it got touched, so there's no icing as Uhl will go back to get it. Tommy Bice up from his defensive position goes behind the net and takes Uhl down. McLaughlin back there as well, and Connor McCowell comes away with it. Goes back to the point to Rieger. Looking for Kennedy. 3 Eagle defensemen out there right now as you got Rieger, Bice, and Kennedy out there. Rieger keeps it in. Goes to Tommy Bice. Bice tries to spin it to McCowell. He gets it there now. Return feed for Bice in front. Bice chopping at it. Back to the point to Kennedy. Fakes his slap shot. Holds. Makes a fancy move. Waits. Shoots it toward the net. Looking for a deflection. He found it. It's laying about 10 feet out. Someone's trying to find the puck. It's McCowell and then gets shot wide. Pekka in the corner. Tries to spin off a check by Lynch. Does a good job to keep the puck down low. Centers it in front. They score! What a play by Mateo Pekka as he found Santoro breaking down the slot. as he came off the bench, and at 16-11, everything is coming up Eagles this afternoon as Mateo Pekka in that 5'8 reach took a hit from Brendan Lynch, somehow kept the puck in the corner, and then fed it into the slot to Joe Santoro, and the Eagles have a 4-0 lead on Santoro's third of the year. So Santoro, his fourth from Pekka at 16-11, and the Eagles have a 4-0 lead. Some rarefied air in conference for the Eagles, something we haven't seen too many times. But the Eagles have done everything right, and a great play again by Mateo Pekka.
Yeah, just like you said, everything they're doing is right. And again, starting from the simplest plays that they've made, and they just continue to feed off that.
Santoro in front for Swain on a one-timer. He gets taken out by knee, as even Norling tried to come down on right wing before that with an opportunity, and the Eagles have a 4-0 lead, and another big hit behind the play. I'm not sure if that's on Swain or knee, but there's going to be a penalty on Scotty Swain. And as this score goes up, Southern New Hampshire, and rightfully so, is going to be more frustrated. But want to be careful because you do have to play again tomorrow. Tomorrow is another day, and this game isn't over yet either. But tomorrow is another day, and now the Eagles will be shorthanded for the third time on a Swain roughing penalty at 16:42.
Yeah, and you want to see, your skill guys play tough, but you also want to see them play smart.
Face-off one back, shot toward the net, taken by Watson, gets blocked, and the Eagles send it all the way down the ice. Out of the zone comes Kaiser with some speed, gets to the red line on right wing, tries to get around the fence of O'Connell, and he takes him out with a big hit, and Murray dumps it all the way back to center. Nice play by O'Connell to prevent Kaiser from getting around him. Glassrud not chasing Devlin, but Devlin comes from far to near all the way around, lost the puck, and then a big hit in the corner, almost a dangerous board. Not O'Connell's fault as Watson turned at the last second, but neither hurt for wear. Now Watson takes a shot that gets blocked in front. Kaiser returns to Watson, looking to go through legs and bodies, stopped by McQuegan, who blocked it in front. Then a return shot again, blocked in front again. I think O'Connell got that one, and it goes out the center. And the Eagle bench on its feet, slapping their sticks as the Eagles block two consecutive shots. On the man advantage, then a high stick right into the face of O'Connell. He's looking for a penalty. Not going to get one. If he didn't have a mask, he probably would have gotten one. Then a shot taken through a screen again. Blocked in front. O'Connell tries to get it out. Pops up in the end of McQuegan, who's got no stick. He tries to soccer style it out. It gets shot right on. Stopped by Kunin. Glassrud tries to get it out. Takes a bounce off the dasher. Nice play by Kaiser to keep it in. Nope, offsides, as he could not keep it in. Good job by the Eagle defense and penalty killers blocking shots. They're doing everything they can to get it out, and Glassrud just got it out as it hit off the dasher and took a funky bounce.
And you can just see the frustration with Southern New Hampshire. They're just throwing pucks around, not trying to set anything up, and just hoping that a puck can have a set of eyes and find its way through a maze.
McCall, and now it will be Slingerland as knee is tossed out of the draw. Puck takes a high bounce on that faceoff, and Aiden Kennedy plays it for the Eagles inside his own zone, looking to find a place to dump it down the ice. And he does, behind Sean Guerin, who replaced goaltender Colin Burke, the NE10 leader in goals against average and who was second in save percentage. Not sure again if there was any kind of injury to Colin Burke. Doesn't appear to based on what we can see. More so just a wake-up call for his team, but Guerin's given up 2 goals. I'm not sure you can blame him for either one of those goals either. And it's still 4-0. And here's Pekka on a breakaway on a return pass, walking, and Pekka finds a shot and just misses it wide. But again, Mateo Pekka on a breakaway from about 30 feet out, walked in, took a shot, and just missed the near side post. Eagles are back to full strength, 0 for 3 on the man advantage on the Penmen. Great job by the Eagles, and now Swain in the corner, looking to center it in front, tried to find McCall, but Kennedy picked it up. Here's Aiden Kennedy cruising in on his backhand to his forehand with a shot that Guerin stops at the top of the crease. Good job by Kennedy. Made it look like he was going backhand, changed to the forehand, and Guerin had to make a save with 1:03 to go in the second.
Yeah, I think Southern New Hampshire just wants to get out of this period. No question. Giving up 2-2. Long road ahead for them, and Post has just got to keep pushing.
Santoro and Hirschberger on the draw to the left of Guerin. One cleanly by Santoro. Shot by Noble and gloved. awkwardly by Guerin, but he makes the save with a minute to go in the second. These two teams play again tomorrow, 3:30 here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, 3:15 pregame on the CACC Network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles. Coach and I will be with you for all of the exciting action. And the Eagles go on a 4-game road trip, all in conference. And they'll follow that up with a game against Franklin Pierce here at the Sports Center of Connecticut on Valentine's Day afternoon. So bring your Valentine on Friday, February 14th, if you can't make it out tomorrow for the home finale, what will be Senior Day here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. I don't think I'll be buying you a Valentine, Coach, though I like you a lot.
Well, we can keep it professional.
There you go.
I'm fine with that.
Not sure my wife would be happy with that either. And I'm not sure your wife would be either.
No.
Devlin and Murray, a couple of 21s in the draw on the faceoff inside the Eagles zone. 1-2 Boucher, who tries to take a shot, gets blocked in front with 40 seconds to go. Then a backhand play by Kaiser into the far side corner. Played by Boucher, top of the left point. Takes a shot toward the net. The flex wide. Glassrud using that 6'7" body to try to get to the puck. Did a good job to take the body, so no offensive opportunity by Devlin. Then Glassrud spins around a check, goes down on the ice, gets the puck out to center finally with the help of Holden Beckett. 20 seconds remaining in the second period. 4-0 Eagles. Puck in the zone being played by Phillips. And a 6-man scrum on the half wall as I sneeze into the microphone. Time will run out in the second period. Probably just in time for me as well. With the score, the Eagles lead 4-0. They get 2 goals in the second period. One by Scotty Swain on a beautiful give-and-go with Trey Delorey, and one by Josie and Toro on a beautiful setup by Mateo Pekka. Both goals in the second period. Things of beauty. And the Eagles have a 4-0 lead as they go into the second intermission. Coach can't remember the last time they had a 4-0 lead going into the second intermission, but this is what they've been doing, particularly in this last little stretch. Simple hockey, and it's paying off for them. They lead 4-0.
Yeah, right now, they're doing everything correctly, and really, like I say, really impressive to me is the play of their defensemen. And again, credit to the forwards for coming back, allowing those defensemen to keep their gaps in that. And right now, Southern New Hampshire, they have no answer for what Post is putting in front of them.
And that's where we are after 2 periods of play here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, where Southern New Hampshire trails Post 4-0 in Game 1 of the 2-game weekend. Set a gigantic weekend for the Eagles, some of the bigger home games, regular season home games in the program history. And we'll see where it all shakes out as the weekend goes on. Still 1 period left to go today at least, and 3 periods tomorrow. So a lot of exciting action here. We'll be back in 2 minutes as you're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the CACC Network and youtube.com/go. Second period intermission here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, where the Eagles have a 4-0 lead over the Southern New Hampshire University Penmen here this afternoon in Game 1 of a 2-game weekend series. The Eagles in 5th place in the NE10, but 2 points behind second place Southern New Hampshire. And the second period intermission is brought to you by Post University, ranked number 6 by U.S. News and World Report as having the best online programs for 2024. Take your opportunity because Post is personal. For more information on all of Post degree programs, to visit campus or to apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu. Eagle fans, are you ready to update your closet and represent your Eagle fandom wherever you are, every day, every way, and everywhere? Whether you're walking around campus, rocking in the nest, strolling the neighborhood on vacation, or even out with that special someone, Valentine's Day, remember, is right around the corner. It's time for you to show your school pride. Go to posteagles.com, click on the fans section on the right-hand side, then click on School Store to get your Post Eagle gear. Use the code SPRINT15 between now and Sunday, January 26th at checkout to receive $15 off your order of $75 or more. Exclusions do apply. That code is SPRINT15, SPRINT15, and it expires on Sunday, January 26th. You can also visit the campus store in the Lever Student Center on campus, open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Let's start with the standings because we did the NE10 Players of the Week earlier this week. And we'd like to thank the folks at the Pentagon and NASA for breaking down the standings for us. It has been a big help. St. A's is in first place. They have 26 points. They're 8-3, 1-0-1 in conference. They're 9-7-2 overall for 26 points. That's a 5-point lead on two teams. Southern New Hampshire with 21. They are 6-4-1, 1-0 for 21 points. They're 8-9-1 overall. Assumption has 21 points. They are 6-5-0, 1-1 and are 10-11 overall. St. Michael's is in fourth place with 20 points. They are 6-5-0, 1-0 and 8-9-2 overall. Your Eagles with 19 points, so 1 point out of fourth, 2 points out of second, 6-6-0-0-1 in conference, 8-10-0 overall. And Franklin Pierce, unfortunately for them, come up in last place with 0 points. They are 0-11 in conference. 0-11 in conference. They're 0-12 in conference. They are 0-18-1 overall. The weekend schedule in the NE10, these two teams, as we talked about, will rematch again tomorrow, 3:30 on the NE10 on the CACC network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles. Around the NE10, a couple of games. St. A's is at Assumption. They're playing now. I'll get you a score in a moment, and they will play at 2:20 tomorrow. And then Franklin Pierce travels to St. Michael's. That game starts at 7:10, and they will play the rematch at 3 o'clock tomorrow. End of the first period up at Assumption, who is currently in third place, while St. A's is in second. Well, the tied for second is Assumption with Southern New Hampshire, but they trail 2-0 against St. A's after one period of play. Alberti and Leinart, the goal scorers for St. A's, who lead the conference by 5 points and have a 2-0 lead on Assumption at the first period intermission. Upcoming schedule on Tuesday, St. A's will travel to Keene State 7:45 p.m. And then a week from tonight, Assumption will be at Franklin Pierce 8 o'clock. Post will be at St. A's at 6 o'clock, and St. Michael's will travel to Southern New Hampshire at 7:40. A week from tomorrow, February 1st, can't believe that's already here, Post will be at St. A's at 3 o'clock, St. Mike's will be at Southern New Hampshire at 1 o'clock, and Franklin Pierce will be at Keene State at 7 p.m. And then on Tuesday, February 4th, Assumption at Franklin Pierce 7 o'clock, and Southern New Hampshire at Keene State 7:45. So Keene State playing a bunch of non-conference games against the NE10 in the upcoming 10 days. Statistical leaders. Individually, the leading goal scorer in the NE10 is Hunter Brackett. He's got 13. lead the way. Jake Dinopoli, he's from St. A's, by the way. Jake Dinopoli from Assumption is second with 11. 3 players have 8. 5 have 7. Assists, Ronnie Paragallo leads with 20. He's got a 7-assist lead over Jonathan Soren, his teammate from Assumption. Brendan Lynch and Case Cantajas, Brendan Lynch from Southern New Hampshire, tied for third at 12. Now with Aiden Kennedy, who's got his 12, so Aiden Kennedy tied for third with 12 assists. And then 3 players at 11 and 3 more at 10. Point leader is Ronnie Paragallo with 27 from Assumption. Hunter Brackett has 23 for St. A's, and Jonathan Surratt has 20 for Assumption. Luke Leinert, who got a point tonight, has 20 as well. So he's tied for third. And then Brendan Lynch has 16 for Southern New Hampshire. And 5 players have 15 in the NE10 conference. Plus-minus leaders, Aiden Kennedy leads the way with a plus 11. Cole Douglas from St. Michael's is plus 9 going into today. Connor McCowell is third with a plus 7. Braden Noman from St. Mike's is also plus 7. And then Owen Rieger and S.J. LeCompte have plus 6. And then 5 players are at plus 5. That includes Nathan McDevitt and Mateo Pekka. So that's your look around an exciting NE10 conference right now. Again, 2 points separating 5th place from 2nd place, and the 2nd place team and the 3rd place team are both losing right now. So the standings may look very different tomorrow, but the Eagles still have 20 minutes to go to complete the victory tonight. They lead 4-0. We'll be back in 2 minutes as you're listening and watching the Post University Hockey on the CACC Network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles. Back here at the Sports Center of Connecticut, second intermission between Post University and Southern New Hampshire, where the Eagles have a 4-0 lead. I'm Jeff Nelson, Coach Pete Whitney with me as well. The Eagles did it again. They scored 2 goals in the first period, one by Holden Beckett to start the game at 3:31, and with the assists coming from Baxter Kimball and Aiden Kennedy. And then just about 7 minutes later, Baxter Kimball scored a goal as Beckett returned the favor to make it 2-0 on his third at 10:30. Start of the second period, it was 2-0, and then after a couple of 10-bell opportunities by the Eagles early in the period, Coach Sean Walsh for Southern New Hampshire pulled goaltender Colin Burke, the leader in the NE10 in goals against average and second in saves percentage. He's done, to what I can tell, and Coach can probably verify, he didn't do anything wrong on either of the 2 goals, but it would appear to be more of a wake-up call to his team because it didn't appear that he was injured, but he may be, to be fair. But didn't really do much in the way of changing the play, as right after a man advantage expired for the Eagles, where they're 0 for 2, a beautiful give and go by Scotty Swain and Trey Delory. And Delory gave it back to Swain, and Swain put it in for his 4th of the year at 7:15 to make it 3-0. And then 9 minutes later, or 8 minutes and 56 seconds later, Mateo Pekka in the corner in the near side took a hit, then stole the puck away while on his knees, got up and fed a beautiful centering pass into the slot for Joe Santoro, who came off the bench, and he ripped it by Sean Guerin at 16-11 for his 4th. Add an assist to Tommy Bice on that goal, and the Eagles have a 4-0 lead in the intermission. Shots on goal in the second, 9-8 Eagles, 19-17 overall. Face-offs, the Eagles did a much better job, 17-13 their advantage in the second, 28-26 overall. Coach, as we bring you in, not much to quibble about from the Eagles side. They've done, outside of the power play goal, they've done everything you've asked them to do. They simplified, they've put the puck on the net, not a ton of shots, but they put the puck on the net. They scored 4 goals. First 5 minutes of this third period are probably going to be big just to control the rest of the game. They get out of this with a 4-goal lead or better. It should, maybe the hitting will pick up, but should ease them down as the rest of the period comes by.
Yeah, and I think your goal for Post is to stay composed, don't get caught up in anything that your opponent might try to draw you into, so that you have the advantage going into the game tomorrow, and your opponent doesn't have any victory on any level, nothing to feed off of that might occur in a game like this with a lopsided score as it currently is.
You talked about this earlier. We've talked about it before, but it was just a week ago where the Eagles had a big win against St. Mike's, and then at the end of the game, everything kind of got out of hand and may have contributed a bit to the loss on Saturday against St. Mike's, which is the only loss in this 5-game stretch.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you're people and you have emotions and that, but the good hockey players play in check, and the great hockey players learn how to play in check and keep their emotions under control and get your opponent to that edge and let them go over it. That's when you know you really have something.
So 4-0 Eagles as we get ready to start the third period. Teams taking the ice here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Don't forget to join us tomorrow, 3:30 for Puck Drop, 3:15 pregame on the CACC Network and YouTube.com/GoPost. Eagles, it's Think Pink at the Rink Day as we hope to do a little something to end cancer and breast cancer. There'll be 50-50 raffles and other things to raffle and buy and purchase. I believe we have somebody special singing the national anthem, but don't quote me on that. That's tomorrow here, 3:30 Puck Drop at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Southern New Hampshire going right to left as you look at your screen and dial. They're in the dark blue and gold. Your Eagles in the home whites going left to right. 20 minutes of hockey remaining today. These two teams will go at it tomorrow with 3 more periods of hockey. The Eagles have a 4-0 lead. And if this score holds or better for the Eagles, they'll move up in the NE10 conference standings. Not sure where yet, depending on how the other games go today. 2-0 St. A's after 1 period against Assumption up in Massachusetts this afternoon. We'll see if we can get you a score at the end of this game of where that game is during our 3-star report. Puck in the Penmen zone. Murray tried to spin off a check. He gives it to Kimball, who tries to come out the near side around the net with a sweep. Beckett pinches down. He takes a hit. 5 players on the half wall now moving toward the corner. 2 Eagles and 3 Penmen. And the opposing number 3, Coleman Knee, comes away with it, tries to chip it up the wall. Eagles do a good job to keep it in. Can't count how many turnovers Southern New Hampshire's had right before the blue line, though. And that has led to 4 Eagle goals in some way or another. Centering pass in front for Lynch. Lynch turns, spins, fires, deflected wide. As another block shot by the Eagles. That's the one stat we don't have, is the amount of block shots the Eagles have. But they have several. And there's one by Kennedy. And nice play by Rieger to get it to Kennedy away from Lynch. Rieger up the wall looking for Kimball. He'll get it out the center and go off on a line change as the opening line for the Eagles will go for a full line change. And almost a steal by Kennedy, and Lynch just takes a waffling shot from just inside the blue line, easily stopped by Kunin. And the puck sent all the way down the ice. No icing as it went off of Ryan Kaiser. Kaiser with a little spinorama move goes around the net, but Santoro's the only one there for the Eagles who tries to shoot it toward the net. Puck is blocked into the far side corner. Back to the point to Noble. Noble to Delory. Takes a shot toward the net, looking for a deflection. Didn't get it, but stopped by Guerin, who did not start this game. He came on after the Eagles had a 2-0 lead and a minute 26 into the second period. Not after a goal, but just after a 10-bell opportunity the Eagles had, and the save was made by Colin Burke. So we'll have to see who starts tomorrow for Southern New Hampshire. Will it be Burke or Guerin or somebody else? The third goalie is Cam Bernard. Stick check away is Tyler Murray, and they come back 2-on-2. Murray fakes his shot, but a good job by Delory to leave a stick out there, and then McQuegan trips over Noble's stick. Kept in momentarily by Rodriguez, will spindle it around the boards. Noble chips it to Swain. Swain tries to get it out, keep in by the Penmen. One shot blocked, second shot taken toward the net, had a deflection in front. Did Kurt Watson, but just deflected wide, and then a high stick into the face of Delory, and that takes some work because he's 6'5", probably 6'8" on skates. And he got high sticked in the cage. But no call by the officials. That's the one thing that's been surprising is the officials haven't tightened this up as the game has moved along. There have been only 5 penalties in the hockey game. And you probably could call another 10. Slingerland sends it around behind Kunin. Good play by Glasser to reverse the flow and a gorgeous pass to McMains. McMains trying to go around, takes a hip check by his opposing number, Ryan Uhl. He and Norling got into it in the second period. Nice hip check by Uhl, and then a shot by Glassroot in front and stopped by Guerin, who did a dolphin flop after catching that puck. Not sure if he got it with his body or the glove. And then somebody's glove goes flying into the near side corner inside the Penman zone. But Ryan Uhl amongst the angered parties, and he's been, as we mentioned a moment ago, pushing and shoving all game, particularly once the second period got it. And now the officials will call a couple of penalties to calm this down. Uhl and Howell at 3:14. Probably 2 each for roughing, I'm going to gather. But let's see.
Yeah, we'll see if this makes a difference here. You know, they catch this fairly early in the period. We can get beyond this, and the guys can get back to playing some hockey here. And you want to set the tone for tomorrow that we were able to beat you every period. So that should be the goal for Post, to try to win this period.
See if there's anything more than just the 2 minutes, or they're going to give them 10s to calm them down. Although a different number has gone up on the board, so is it going to be a 5-on-4? Or what are they going? Looks like 2 penalties on the Penmen, coach, unless there's a screw up at the scoreboard. Well, they don't have a number 9, so that's going to be.
No, they put them both on the same side there. Or something's up because.
So 2 Eagles are in the box. It's Beckett and. Looks like 4-on-4, but let's see. There are 2 Eagles in the box and only 1 Penman. So Howell's on the board for 2 minutes.
So coincidental. And
Holden Beckett's also in the box.
Something extra.
And Ryan Uhl also 2 minutes. So 4-on-4, but Beckett is in the box as well, so maybe he got 10. 4-on-4 on ice advantage. We'll see what the call is. And down goes Rieger right here in front of us. Looked a little bit like a knee. And again, back the other way come the Penmen in over the line. Here's knee.
Penalty, number 18, Ryan Uhl. 2 minutes for roughing, time the penalty, 3:14 left the third.
Well, I'm going to tell you I'm confused on the penalties, and the shot taken high and wide off the glass as the Penmen came in 2-on-2. And here's Murray. He takes a hit right at center by McLaughlin.
Yeah, the other penalty for Southern New Hampshire came up late. It looked like it was just going to be Post, and that other penalty appeared.
So I'm not 1,000% sure on the penalties. I'm still unclear why there are 2 Eagles in the box and 1 Penman, and it's 4-on-4. But
right.
We've seen some weird things, including a random 3-on-3 earlier this year that I'd never seen before. and neither had any of the officials we talked to. So we're just going to let it play out. It's 4-on-4 with 4:35 to gone in the third. Still 4-0 Eagles, who have done everything right in this game. And the only real question, as Coach has mentioned, is to play these next 15 minutes ahead and to not do anything silly to give them motivation for tomorrow. Southern New Hampshire, that is. Lynch, a shot from the point that just whips wide. Then a return shot taken by Kaiser with 15 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4. Glassrud and O'Connell, the Eagle D, laying some hits on Lynch and Watson. Glassrud does a nice spin away from Lynch with that 6'7" frame and 225-pound body. He doesn't let Lynch get near him. The 4-on-4 is over. Maybe they gave a 10-minute penalty to Jacob Howell as well. That may be why Beckett served it. That's the only thing I can guess. Long shot taken from the top of the far circle by Watson, gloved by Kunin.
Sure, if he got a 2 and a 10, we'll see right at the end here if Beckett pops out.
But Uhl and Beckett out of the box, 4-on-4 over.
So, there you go.
We've kind of crossed that 5-minute mark. 5:28 gone in the third. Still 4-0 Eagles. They've escaped the 4-on-4. But there's something to be said as well for the Eagles putting their foot on the gas a little bit. They've been beaten up at times in this conference by these opponents.
No, absolutely.
Sometimes it feels good to remind them that we're here and we're in this right now.
Well, this is, I'm not going to say it's one of the few times, but there has not been consistent, hey, you're in our house kind of a hockey game. And this is that type of hockey game right now, sending the message to their opponent that this is our rink. Right? We know how it felt up there. How does it feel now? So it's really great to see the compete.
Ben Kunin had to change masks. Something wrong with his original mask. Looks like he changed masks with the freshman Sam Edmonds out of Richmond Hill, Ontario, who still has done the most amazing athletic feat I've seen all year, which is to walk the stairs here at the Sports Center of Connecticut in full hockey gear. You don't see that often. Shot off the face-off taken by Southern New Hampshire, and it just deflects wide. That was by Dylan Phillips, and a recenter toward the net looking for a deflection. Goes back to the point over here to Rodriguez. Rodriguez with time and space toward the net. Right pad save by Kunin, who makes another save now with his new mask. Puck behind the net, tried to center it in front of Pompicelli. Eagles do a good job at reversing the flow, and that's Kennedy who tried to reverse the flow. He did, but good job by the Penmen to keep it in, and now Murray comes out with it. Has a 2-on-2 with Beckett possibly, but checked off his stick is Phillips and sends it back to the Eagle defense. It's actually Parker Norling back there for a moment, just based on what everybody's standing, and up in the air is Beckett looking for Norling flying, but a penalty behind the play, and I think it's on the Penmen's Hirschberger. Murray frustrated, but a trip on Hirschberger. That must have been behind the play, Coach.
Yep.
I didn't see it. 6:16 the time, and the Eagles go to their third man advantage of the game.
Yeah, and those are the penalties you don't want to take, right? You're trying to build as well. Southern New Hampshire is. So you don't want to take those kind of behind the play penalties.
So this is the one thing the Eagles haven't done in today's game, although 2 penalties come up on. There we go. The one thing the Eagles haven't done in this game is scored a power play goal, and obviously with only scoring 3 all year, 3 for 58 on the season are the Eagles on the man advantage. If they can somehow score a power play goal here, then they've really hit the 10 bell and done everything they needed. Questions about where this face-off is going to be, as Santoro seems a little frustrated. And they're going to go from the right side of where, to the right of Guerin, to the left of Guerin, on the near side inside the Penmen zone. Lynch and Santoro 1 and 2 in face-offs, and this is won by Santoro. He beat Lynch head-to-head. Here's Kennedy down low. Spin away is Kimball as he tried to center it out in front. Checked by McLaughlin. Rims it all the way to the half wall. Pitching in is Rieger, but a good job by Southern New Hampshire to get it out the center. And now with some speed is Lynch. Lynch trying to get around Kennedy. Kennedy does a good job to get in front of Lynch and take the puck away, and will send it back to Rieger behind the net and start again with 30 seconds gone on the third Eagle power play of the game. They lead 4-0. Kennedy goes back to Kimball. Kimball Gets to the blue line, dumps it in, will chase after it, trying to get around Minig, who we haven't seen much of in the second period. Now here in the third, Lynch and Minig behind the net, but good play by the Eagles to pinch it away, and here's Kennedy. Top of the far circle, feeds it down to Murray, who takes a shot toward the net that deflects off the leg of, I believe, Minig, and into the netting behind goaltender Guerin. With 1:10 to go on the power play and 7:07 gone in period 3, still 4-0. Face off deep in the Penn men's zone. Norling and Knee on the draw to the right of goaltender Guerin. Won by Knee. He's been pretty good in the face-off draw today. McQuegan, though, does a good job to keep it in by rimming it around to Delory. Then a bouncing puck that just goes wide. Swain pinching in. Finds McQuegan behind the net with time and space. Comes back to Delory on right point. Delory has a bunch of legs to shoot through and chooses not to. He takes a return pass by McQuegan. Now he does toward the net with a deflection. McQuegan finds it in the slot. He takes a shot right on rebound by Norling, and he just missed the net. Couple of blocks in front. It got to Guerin one time, and then an opportunity for Norling, and he just shot it high and wide. So good setup there. Nice shot by Delory that started the whole thing. Norling overskates a drop pass with 30 seconds remaining on the man advantage and gets it to Swain. Swain gets to the red line, continues forward, gets it to Delory. Not intentionally, but found it there, and Delory will take a shot toward the net that's gloved by Guerin. Might have been going wide, but he gloved it anyway. With 7:55 gone in the third, 20 seconds, remaining on the man advantage, and the Eagles leading 4-0. They've done the simple things on the power play. They just haven't gotten the goals, Coach.
Yeah, and again, opportunities. You're getting pucks through. You just got to get that bounce. Just got to get that one little bounce, or that one little, like I said, that puck has some eyes and finds its way through.
Delory shoots toward the net, gets a deflection by McQuegan. It lays just outside the crease. McQuegan chopping at it, and it goes wide by Swain. Rimmed around, not kept in by Delory with 5 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Another good opportunity, and a nice shot by Trey Delory. But the Eagles unable to score on their third man advantage. The one thing they haven't been able to capitalize on today, as they still lead 4-0 with 11:30 to go in the third period. Bice inside his own zone, spins away from one hit, spins away from a second hit, then takes a hit by Kaiser, but is able to dump it into the zone. Pekka, who had a great pass in the first period, centered it in front, centered it in front looking for McMains, but it got chopped off his stick, and this puck dumped around the boards. Glassrud in the Eagles zone, centered it out in front off of Kunine by accident, as I don't think Tanner is trying to score on his own goalie. With 11:14 to go in the third, now a face-off deep inside the Eagles zone to Kunine's right.
And again, you can see Poch's doing a great job of bringing numbers back, because that's a potential 3-on-2 right there, but just bringing the guys back, having those forwards come back and man up and find who they're going for and identifying it and just squelch the 3-on-2.
Clean win, the Ool, who rims it around the boards from near to far. And Pekka does a good job on the half wall to chip it to McCall. And McCall looking for McMains. A different version of run PMC. We haven't seen much of Nathan McDevitt since midway through the second period. I don't remember anything specific happening to him, but I haven't seen much of him, as he's usually on this line with Pekka and McCall, but a different version of run PMC.
Yeah.
The amount of MCs on this team there's a lot.
There is a lot.
You can replace McDevitt with McMains. And if you don't like that, you can replace him with McQuegan. Face-off won by Southern New Hampshire. Over here on left wing. Centered it in front for a one-timer that Watson fanned on. Pekka tries to come away with it, but McMains looking for Pekka, streaking down the left wing. He then makes a pass to Pekka, who tries to get around the body check of Devlin. And the puck goes back to the Eagle defense. Forwards will change, so Rieger and Kennedy are on defense. The forward unit changes. Long pass for Beckett, deflected, so no icing. Kimball behind his own net, who's got a goal and an assist in this game, goes across to Murray. Murray with an opportunity right into the breadbasket of Guerin with 10:26 to go in the third. Nice setup there. Shot on the net, Guerin make the save. And again, Guerin's been good since coming in for Colin Burke. He's given up 2 goals, but not much he could do on either one. Murray and Knee on the draw to the left of Sean Guerin, the Southern New Hampshire goaltender. Murray wins the faceoff, but Beckett couldn't control it. Murray then picks it up in the near side corner. Will go around the net with it. So spins back now looking for Kimball. Kimball gets checked off by Kaiser. Down goes, I believe that was Boucher behind the net, and the puck goes high in the air. Somehow avoids the roof. Might have gone through the roof, so no penalty. And then an icing by the Eagles. Bit of a questionable icing there, but one nonetheless. Midway through the third period, 10:02 remaining, and the Eagles have a 4-0 lead. Don't forget to join us tomorrow, 3:30, here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Come on out and enjoy some hockey. Or if you can't, listen to us on the CACC Network and youtube.com/GoPostEagles, or come here and listen to us while we're here so you can know all the players and everything that's going on Think Pink of the Rink Day here tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, come on down. When you come down tomorrow, stop over and say hello. Be nice to know people hear our voices out there.
Absolutely. And don't forget, we always love the commentary. You can go to the fans section and ask the broadcast, or don't forget to leave some comments on the YouTube channel as well. We've had many comments over the last few weeks from Eagle alumni and Eagle fans from all around the country and world. Shot toward the net, deflects just wide. Past Kunin. Santoro takes a nice pass by Beckett. Tries to go around the defense. Will chase after Boucher. He lays a hit on Boucher. But the Penmen have an opportunity to bring it out, and they will. Here's Tyler Murray. Murray with a nice pass across to Hirschberger. Hirschberger with a shot toward the net that Kunin couldn't get his glove on. He hit it with the glove but couldn't grab. And then it's rimmed around to the near side wall where the Eagles do a good job to get it out to center. Dumped into the Eagle zone again, and Kennedy will look up the middle for Santoro. He finds Santoro's stick, but then he had it chipped away, and back comes Kaiser. Kaiser over the line with a shot that gets blocked by Delory. Goes behind the net, and Kennedy has an opportunity to go up in the air and out to center. Delory looking for Norling. Didn't get it there, so Lynch will bring it right back in, but Delory doing a good job defensively on Connor Ball, not letting him get anywhere near the puck. And here's Scotty Swain chasing after a loose puck in the neutral zone. Lynch spins away from McCall. Lynch takes a hit from Scotty Swain. Referees looking at each other, but don't call anything. Then Glasser dangerously comes out in front. Lost the puck, but McCall there to bail him out. Looking for McQuegan, and now McQuegan with some speed. McQuegan up on right wing trying to get it to his forehand, goes behind the net, tries to center it out in front, gets spindled away in the far side corner and dumps it behind the net away from McCall. And back comes Southern New Hampshire again. O'Connell at center after the turnover by the Penmen. Gives it to Glassard with some speed. Long shot from outside the blue line, sticked away by Guerin. Now a re-center from McMains gets blocked. Plays it up the wall and out to center to Jim Minig. And regrouping again. A high pop fly looking for the top corner was Rieger, but it went over the net of Sean Guerin. And the Penmen will come out of the zone as the Eagles make a line change. One-on-one back the other way in over the line with a wrist shot that gets blocked by Kennedy. Was Dylan Phillips, 5'10", 155, freshman out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Good job, though, by Kennedy. And the Eagles have been in a way in the lane a lot with shot blocks today, Coach, and it's been very impressive. Yeah,
like I say, they play, again, there's no substitute to playing with confidence, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing a post team playing with all kinds of confidence, and a Southern New Hampshire team now just trying to find something.
7:58 to go in the third. 4-0 Eagles. They get through the next 7:58 and win the game. The Eagles will have won 5 out of 6. 4 of 5 in conference, and will be on a 2-game winning streak heading into the rematch tomorrow here at the Sports Center of Connecticut. And the Eagles will be out of 5th place for the first time all season long. We just don't know how high or low up the food chain they will go, but they won't be in 5th anymore if they close out the next 7:31 of regulation time. But we'll know all that by the end of the night because the Franklin Pierce game doesn't start until 7 o'clock. Played at center with the puck is Phillips. Dumps it in on Kunin. He'll leave it for Delory. Delory skates away from the rush of Gray. Tries to feed it up the wall to Swain. He tips it, so no icing. It goes behind the Penmen net where Guerin rims it up the dasher. Santoro takes a push to the face, falls down. Puck rimmed around to the far side as the hitting picks up again, and back the other way come the Penmen. Devlin over the line, tries to center in front, but Delory does a good job. Captain Trey Delory has been excellent today, and then a penalty, I believe, behind the play, or is that a high stick?
Looked like a hook, maybe?
On Wyatt Noble. Good call, Coach. That's a hook to Wyatt Noble, the sophomore out of Spring Lake Park, Minnesota. This kind of weather probably suits him fine, given the frigid temperatures of the last few weeks here in the Northeast. But the Penmen will go to their fourth man advantage of the game. They're 0 for 3. Eagles have done a great job on the penalty kill today. And this all occurs at 13-11, so Noble 2 for hooking at 13-11. McCowell and Lynch won by dead even face-off, but I guess technically Southern New Hampshire wins that. Kaiser gives to Watson, back to Kaiser, one-timer through a maze of legs. It gets blocked. Now Watson back to Kaiser again, one-timer again in front. That got deflected and it goes in to break the shutout. A power play goal at 13:28. That puck just pinballed around. And Stone Devlin, I believe, was the one who put it in. The sophomore out of West Falmouth, Massachusetts. I believe he's the one who put it in at 13:28, but the shutout is broken. That was about the only other thing the Eagles had to play for at this point. And I didn't want to say anything because I don't want to be accused of a jinx.
Yeah, and that was, again, you just see the importance of your face-offs, right? That was just the difference maker. Face-off one, didn't get out, and they're able to set their power play up.
And we did talk about it. The one area where Southern New Hampshire has a distinct advantage is special teams. They've killed off 4 Eagle power plays, which we know the struggles there, and they are number 2 on the power play, and they get a goal there. So at the moment, they're leading the special teams, which is the one thing they really had an advantage on coming into this game. A center in front by Pompaselli.
Assist by number 4, Ryan Kaiser, and number 13, Kurt Watson. That's number 21 for the Penguins with the score. Assist by 13 and number 4. Time of the goal, 13:28 of the third.
So power play goal, the officially Stone Devlin, his 4th of the season from Ryan Kaiser and Kurt Watson. And now a shot toward the net, stopped by Kunin, who has to make another save. And Norling now has an opportunity, 2-on-1, really now 1-on-1. Norling spins away. So just to recap the goal, it's Devlin's 4th on the power play from Kaiser and Watson at 13-28. Puck on the half wall inside the Penmen zone. 5 minutes remaining in the third. 4-1 Eagles, who have been in control of this game since the very beginning. First couple shifts of the game, they got shots on goaltender Burke, and it's been all them this evening. O'Connell fans on his pass at center, and Slingerland comes back the other way. Slingerland dumps it behind the net, but Glassroot does a good job to take body position and get the puck away, but then a dangerous pass in the middle of the ice, looking for Tommy Bice, and the Eagles able to get it out to center without any damage. Might be an icing here on the Penmen, and it is. 4:22 to go in the third, still 4-1. He gave up the goal now on a power play and a kind of a scramble drill kind of play. You don't want to give up any more. And to your point, Coach, you don't want to give them any momentum thinking about tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd like to see him play on the Southern New Hampshire half here. You know, all season Ben's been playing big for them, and this is an opportunity for you to play big for him and set the tone for tomorrow.
Howell on the draw for the Eagles against Lynch. Won by Lynch. He's done a good job on the draws today. Number 1 in the NE10 by a wide margin in faceoff percentage, 60%, which is incredible when you consider Joe Santoro's second at 57. Here's Rieger at center looking for McMains down the slot. A little too far. It rolls into Guerin, who will cover with 4:01 to go in the third. Still 4-1. Stay with us after the final whistle. We'll go with our 3 stars, and we'll have looks like an Eagle win and a special interview after the final whistle here this afternoon, this evening, whatever you want to call it, before everybody gets on the ice and does their skating here this evening at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Lynch and Knee to the right, Santoro and Knee to the right of Guerin. One by knee. Puck rimmed around by Southern New Hampshire out the center. This might be another icing, but it's going to go right on to Cunene, who will have to cover with the aggressive Dylan Phillips coming in. Eagles have done mostly everything right. The only question really is, one, what happened to Nathan McDevitt, because we haven't seen much of him since the second period. And how much of this unit does Coach Richter roll out tomorrow? If we're going to see a very similar lineup, and presumably Nate McDevitt is okay. But Coach Richter has been reasonably strict with his lineup outside of injuries and suspensions. He's been pretty similar, particularly during this 4 out of 5, soon to be 5 out of 6 streak. Puck taken behind the net by Southern New Hampshire's Phillips. He gets pinched off the half wall by Kennedy. Knee tries to spin away from Santoro. He centered it through, but through the legs of Swain. Now, Southern New Hampshire pulls their goaltender with 3:37 to go, trailing by 3, looking for Swain by the Eagles. So 6 attackers for Southern New Hampshire in the final 3 minutes. Kennedy in his own zone. A centering pass by Southern New Hampshire goes across the slot area into the near side corner. High in the air goes the puck. Looking for you, Coach, as it bounces about 10 feet away from you. And a souvenir for a lucky young lady here in the crowd. Good to have a souvenir when you come to a hockey game, Coach.
Sure, absolutely.
Face off to the right of Cunene. Between Lynch and McCall, 6 attackers for the Penmen. They play 3 defensemen on the line, kind of like an offensive line, but the Eagles win the faceoff and Bice will send it all the way down. You can do this with 3 goals and just take some icings. That kills 10 seconds off with 3:15 to go. As the Penmen are going to make one last push here, trailing by 3. Lynch, Slingerland, Pompaselli, Aldridge, Kaiser, and Watson are the Penmen 6. Back to the point, but too far for Kaiser and outside the zone. So they'll have to tag up. And a weird bounce off the glass. Popped into the slot area, but the Eagles do a good job to get it away as Ben had gone behind the net to play it. And you were kind of wondering maybe he would try to do what Andrei Nedeljkovic did for the Penguins the other day and shoot at the 200 feet. Off the netting, so a face-off just outside the Eagles zone. Not sure there's ever been a goalie goal in the NE10.
Don't know. That's a great stat. Great stat to look at.
But for the moment, Guerin back into the net with the face-off outside the zone. So back to 5-on-5. We'll see if Guerin gets pulled again. He's all the way out by the hash marks, waiting to see if the Penmen can dump it in. And it gets into the zone. They don't have control yet as a spin-away play by Murray. The Eagles fan on there clear. Murray picked it up on the other side and will high in the air and dump it to center. Soccer-style play, but offsides on the Eagles as Kaiser tried to play Christian Pulisic with it at the blue line. But the Eagles were deep in their zone anyway. And with 2:34 to go in regulation time, the Eagles lead 4-1. Only goal of the third period is a Penmen power play goal. Stone Devlin, his fourth of the year, from Ryan Kaiser and Kurt Watson at 13:28. And there goes Guerin again to the bench as O'Connell dangerously goes in. Sort of got the legs taken out from front of him, but a little bit of a groin pull as a shot taken from the slot area by Watson gets blocked and goes wide. Tries to chip behind the net. O'Connell comes up with it, gives it to Beckett. He'll dump it all the way down. It rides the dasher. I don't know if it'll get there. It will. So now another face-off deep inside the Eagles zone with 2:05 to go in the third. An empty net for Southern New Hampshire. Eagles lead by 3. So a 6-on-5. Doesn't look like Coach Walsh is going to call a timeout here.
No, I think Coach Richter is.
Coach Richter will call a timeout. With the faceoff going to be to the right of Ben Cunin. And 2:05 to go in the third. Eagles lead 4-1. Goals by Beckett, his second. Kimball, his fifth. Swain, his fourth. And Santoro, his fourth. 2 in the first, 2 in the second. And the 2 in the second, very pretty. So if you want to rewind this broadcast later on to watch those 2 goals, worth your time. And then a power play goal here in the third by Southern New Hampshire, Stone Devlin, and that's where we are, 4:01 with 2:05 to go in the third. Should the Eagles hold on in the next 125 seconds, they'll move to 9-10 overall and 7-6 in conference. And we talk about the importance of this weekend series. Well, to get the win in Game 1 will hopefully motivate them for Game 2, and they'll be looking to climb back to 500 overall tomorrow. So if you'd like to come watch some exciting hockey, and this has been a fun game, come on out here tomorrow, Sports Center of Connecticut. Get here early. Raffles, 50-50 raffle. Think pink at the rink. 3:30 is the puck drop. 3:15 pregame, but by that time all the seats will be taken. So come on down. Talking to you, Tracy Lynn. Santoro and Lynch on the draw. Won by Lynch. He tries to get it back to the point, but Santoro does a good job of keeping it from getting there. Now Rieger and Santoro with 2 penmen fighting for around the half wall. Santoro gets it out to center. Swain tried to pick it up and continue forward. He's got an empty net looking at it. Now Murray tried to dump it down. He fanned, dumps all the way in. Let's see if Ben has interest in shooting at it. I'm sure Coach Richter might have been having a bit of a heart attack as he tried to do that. I don't know Ben's stick level. And then a steal by the Eagles here. Swain to the empty net. He scores. An empty net goal by Scotty Swain. Give an assist to Connor Murray, and at 18:26, the most anticlimactic empty net goal you'll see, and the Eagles have a 5-1 lead on Swain's second of the game, 5th of the season at 18:26.
Yeah, Southern New Hampshire just really unable to take advantage of that 6-on-5 there. It's interesting here along the wall. It was a 2-on-2 battle, and you had an extra attacker, but you didn't outnumber the puck. So I'm curious what the thought process was there.
Is that a player thought process or a coaching thought process?
No, that's well, I mean, the way they were set up 3 and then 3 across the top. But I mean, once the play's happening, you got to be a player and play the game, right? You got to outnumber when you have the extra man.
So officially Swain is second of the game, 5th of the season from Connor Murray at 18:26. And the Eagles now 60 seconds away from their 5th win in 6 games, their 2nd in a row. And are now over 500, or will be over 500 momentarily, in the NE10 at 7-6. And they will be 1 game under 500 overall at 9-10. In the next 45. Over the line is Murray. Murray takes a shot toward the net, sticked away easily by Cunin, and then pops out in front to Hirschberger. A shot from the point, taken, blocked in front again by the Eagles. Can't count the number of blocked shots that they've had, but it's been tremendous. Now Hirschberger, top of the right point, gets blocked by McMains. McMains trying to go ahead, gets hooked off. No penalty there. Beckett ends up with the puck to win the zone. With the backhand, it just goes wide on Guerin. As Beckett found a loose puck, that's kind of how he scored the opening goal of the game. He found a loose puck, and then a penalty late in the game, I believe, on the penmen for cross-checking. As Santoro is down. Lots of yapping back and forth by a frustrated penmen team, and the Eagles giving it right back. As Anthony Marchant goes for cross-checking at 19:45, which will put the Eagles on their 5th power play of the game, which will really do nothing to help their percentage. But at this point, I don't really know what you can do to the percentage. Unless they can get something within the next 14-8. Eagle power play number 5. 1 to Delory. Delory goes across the bison toward the net for a deflection by Howell. Then Howell tries to come out the other side with it with 5 seconds. Howell rims it around behind the net. Norling will play it. That's where the puck will stand, and the Eagles with a gigantic win in game one of a 2-game home set against the second-place team in the conference, or the team that was in second place in the conference, as the Eagles, with the regulation 5-1 win, have moved ahead of the Penmen in the standings. With a big win here this afternoon, Coach, really have done everything right. 2 goals in the first, 2 goals in the second, 1-1 in the third. But other than the power play, really did everything they needed to do today from the opening whistle.
Yeah, this was obviously a complete game. And you can't say enough about how they came together today against a very good team, a very good opponent. So that part is extremely impressive.
Ben Cunin played well, gave up the 1 goal late in the third, but didn't have to make a ton of saves today, which is a credit to the Eagle defense more than anything.
No, 100%. We talked about that before the game, right? Their ability to limit their shots on goal that they gave up, and I feel like they did that today.
Coach, your 3 stars, which are brought to you by Post University, offering online, hybrid, and on-campus degree programs to meet your needs. For you, Post is personal. For more information on all Post degree programs, to visit campus or to apply, go to post.edu. That's post.edu.
Jeff, to be honest with you, in a game like this, with just the way the scoring and the assists and everything were spread out, I mean, you could literally throw a dart at the board and at the roster, and any one of these guys could be there. But to me, this is one of those wins that this is a team where it's obvious to me that their room is coming together, right? I don't think from the they had a practice this week, and I don't think the coaching staff said, hey, you know what? Let's work on our gaps. Let's back check. Let's simplify our game and put pucks to the net. I'm pretty sure this is something that's been preached to this team the entire season. So the fact that they're coming together now, and this is coming from the room, this group of players, I'm giving 3 stars to every guy on the team today.
And I think as a result, Coach, that we're going to try to get the captain up here, Trey DeLaurie, for our post-game interview. He did have a beautiful assist today because, to your point, you really could pick anybody. You know, if I could bring all 7 defensemen up here, I probably would.
Yes, and the forwards, too. Like I said, a defender can't step up if his forwards are not back-checking. And like I said, all that happened. All that happened today.
Yeah, everybody did a good job. Ben Cunin moves to 8-4 on the season as well in goal, and we'll get all the numbers and everything. We'll probably have those for you tomorrow of where everybody stands, but Ben should now have increased his lead overall in save percentage. Shots on goal in the third period. Southern New Hampshire 10-6 over the Eagles in the third, 27-25 in favor of Southern New Hampshire. That doesn't necessarily not tell a story. Face-offs 39-38 overall in the third period, though. The Penmen with a 13-11 advantage in the face-offs. Brendan Lynch right at that 60% number, 11 for 18.
Yeah, that's
61%.
That's pretty impressive.
To his credit, though, Joe Santoro at 60%, 12 out of 20. So Santoro's numbers will go up a little bit. Coleman Nee, 13 out of 21 was the leader on the face-off side for the Penmen today as we await Captain Trey DeLaurie after today's game.
He should get here pretty soon. He's got pretty long strides.
Well, I'll say this on Tuesday, our fastest post-game interview ever, and credit to Mateo Pekka for getting right out here fully dressed and ready to go. Around the NE10 while we wait, let's see if we can get you an update on the St. A's Assumption game going on up at Assumption. It was 2-0 after the first period. Well, it's 3-1 after the second. St. A's has a 3-1 lead over Assumption. Alberti, Brackett, and Leinert, the goal scorers for St. A's, while Assumption gets one from Ronnie Paragallo, their leading scorer. 7 o'clock will be the other game in the NE10 this afternoon or this evening. It'll be Franklin Pierce traveling to St. Mike's up in Vermont. Franklin Pierce looking for their first win of the season. They'll be here in a couple weeks. Will Franklin Pierce again. Tomorrow is the second to last home game. Think Pink at the Rink Day. 3:30 p.m. on the CACC Network, youtube.com/GoPost Eagles. 3:15 pregame. Come on out, support the team, listen to us while you're here. Come say hello, make some comments into the YouTube channel. We'd love to hear from you. We've been getting some great commentary over the last couple of weeks, particularly as the wins have been piling up. It's good to see the alumni and the current students and the hockey fans joining into our little group here as we continue to grow this program.
Yeah, and you really, the winters in New England can be pretty tough, especially like the last couple of weeks with the cold weather. So one of the things about the college is, as your sports teams do well, especially in the winter, that can really help with the atmosphere on campus and the enthusiasm. Seeing this team seemingly come into their own the last few weeks has been great to see, and really happy for all the players and those involved.
Eagles moved to 9-10 on the season, as we discussed, 7-6 in conference. Eagles have never been over 500 in conference, and they are one win away from tying the regular season program record of wins in a season, 2 away from the playoff or overall record of wins in a season, with still have 5, 6, 7 games to go in the regular season. The finish in third place at the end of today, because they're in second now. The only one that can pass them is, I believe, St. Mike's. So if St. Mike's loses, Eagles will be in second. If St. Mike's wins, they'll be in the third. But as I mentioned, we will confirm all of that tomorrow when we go live at 3:15. Busy sports day, by the way, also for Post University, as the men's and women's basketball programs playing up at the Drubner Center. So if you can't make it down here, please go support the basketball team up at the Drubner Center. Both men and women playing tomorrow against Jefferson. They could use your support as well. But hopefully we pack this place to its capacity tomorrow, both in seats and in people standing around the rink. We want to see this place full for Think Pink at the Rink, and the second to last home game of the year. And an opportunity for the Eagles to walk out of here no lower than third place.
Yeah, I think tomorrow will be a pretty special day. It's a really great charity, and it's awesome to see that type of game being played and for a cause. And we'll see what we got for if we come up with any kind of interesting jerseys and/or socks or what we got going.
That would be always good as we wait Captain Trey DeLore of your Eagles. Again, 5-1 win for the Eagles today. Game realistically never in doubt. The Eagles from the first shift of the game with if I remember correctly, a dump in from center right on goal, and then they had 2 shots right off that faceoff, and that was really the story. They didn't have a ton of shots, and neither did Southern New Hampshire, but they just chipped away, did everything. There wasn't a flaw, really. Other than a bad pass there and the late goal, there really wasn't any flaw in the game today.
No, and like I say, after that 2-goal lead, Southern New Hampshire just never really was able to get untracked. And, you have to give credit to, like I say, again, Post for that, just playing all their positions really the right way. Every shift, everyone got an opportunity, and they played smart. They played within themselves, and that kind of a team is very, very hard to beat. So that's obviously got to be the mantra going forward. And hopefully those guys get an opportunity tonight to watch a replay of the game, just to put in their heads of this is how you play. Because when you're in it in the moment, you're playing. But when you can watch yourself playing the game and able to use that as another technique to visualize for what you want to do in the next game, especially since it's within the 24 hours, that can be a really helpful tool as well.
As we await Captain Trey DeLore, and again, Just one point, Coach, just to kind of go back, if you remember, and again, how hockey at times can turn on a dime. When the Eagles took that 1-0 lead, if you remember, it was about a minute and a half later that the Penmen won a faceoff down here to our left, and Tyler Murray rang it off the post off that shot, which may have changed this entire game. So sometimes this game is a game of inches, as that's the difference between 1-1 and then later the Eagles coming down and make it 2-0.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no question. I mean, there's always, it seems like there's always some play you can look at and point to. Like we said, with that Franklin Pierce game, it was those great saves by Drew that he made to keep it at 2-1. And here it was that, that post, the goalie's best friend, as they say, coming up and just negating what would have made it a 1-1 game. And then you start to grip your stick a little bit tighter, but that didn't happen. And that's nice to see Post getting some bounces.
Bad shot taken by one of our SID people.
That's why she's here, not at the basketball game.
As she tries to make a 40-foot paper throw and misses the garbage can. On a side note, can't thank all of our producers and engineers and staff here enough who keep us on the air and allow us to bring you these games. Always a challenge sometimes at the Division II level, but everybody here steps up as the staff has gone from a couple people to almost like a dozen. We've done a good job at increasing our staff, and everybody here has been great. Multiple cameras, commercials, and all that stuff as we try to bring you the best of Post University in the NE10 conference.
Yeah, I got to tell you, that's one of the benefits of having a small university. The intimate scale is a difference maker, and it's larger schools try to replicate that and recreate that, and you can't. It's something you have to actually have, and then you live it.
That's a credit as well to our Director of Communications, Mike Vesey, who might be listening, or he might be somewhere else taking a well-earned day off of some kind if he's not doing something else.
Yeah, I got to imagine he's either at a game or writing copy, doing something. There's no question.
Always busy as we await Captain Trey DeLore. It also amazes me the different ways the players come out to do these interviews. We've had half-naked players. We've had players in full gear. We've had goalies with some pads and other pads. Last couple of years, we haven't had too many players to interview based on the win-loss percentage, but this year we've had a lot because the Eagles at home have been very good. So it's just interesting sometimes to see who comes. We had 6'7" Tanner Glasser come out here in his feet, and he left prints behind.
He did. He did.
See if Trey comes out in skates or feet. If he comes out in feet, I don't look as terribly short compared to him. But
well, at this point, he could come out showered in his suit.
Well, that's the that's the other little piece. He did pop out briefly, and then I don't know what may have gotten called back into the locker room, or maybe he just determines he wants to look his best for the post-game interview.
That could be. Could be combing his hair. Something I can't relate to, but I can appreciate.
I haven't related to that since sometime in the early 2000s. While we await, Coach, what's the discussion in the Southern New Hampshire locker room? You've been on that side of the house, too. Coach Walsh not particularly thrilled with how his team played today. At some point, he pulled goaltender Burke early in the second period. Again, we don't know if there was any kind of injury. Didn't appear to be an injury. He wasn't carried off the ice by trainers or anything. He just skated off, and he was a part of the bench yelling, but it was as if he was sending a message to his team that this can't happen, but nothing really seemed to change for Southern New Hampshire in this game.
No, and and it could be something as simple as, like I say, you want to send a message, and that's your number one goaltender, and if you're not going to play in front of him, I'm not going to put him at risk because I want to come back with him tomorrow and see what he can do. So I would not be surprised if he was back between the pipes tomorrow.
I would almost assure of it. And something we haven't talked about as well is we talked about at the beginning of the game, Ben Cunin stopping on average 38.18 shots a game. Well below that today.
Yeah, and it's
he
nice.
Didn't have to work that hard.
Yeah, no, it's nice to see him, in that position. Like we said, the team played well in front of him, limiting those shots on goal. So now you got a fresh goaltender, right? You got a goaltender that, not saying he didn't work, but he made saves he had to make, and he played well, and now he's in a position where he can come back equally as strong as he has every other game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he didn't have to overwork. He just worked like a normal person today.
Yeah, no, it was really good to see. I mean, under 30 shots, right? It was 27, I think.
27. Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time that they allowed those few shots on goal.
I can't either. Which, yeah, again, the credit to everybody today. Everybody stepped up, and particularly if you remember, end of the second period, I believe, Eagles probably blocked 5 or 6 shots on the man advantage that Southern New Hampshire had. The bench, basically all of them wanted to jump on the ice. They were so excited. That says something, too, about how they're coming together. And winning breeds excitement, 5 out of 6. Something I have to go back through, but I don't think there's been a stretch where 5 out of 6 has been won. Yeah,
and like I say, just seeing the bench, seeing the group, there's just a difference right now in the vibe with this team. It's a good crowd over there.
Yeah, maybe our captain's a little shy. He doesn't want to come on out.
Good crowd over there with the parents and the alumni and the support from everyone. So it should be a great night. You almost, if you're a player, you almost want to go next door and say, hey, you know what? Let's get some dinner.
Come back out.
And let's come on back out. Let's play again. Let's go.
Yeah, I feel like they don't want to do that.
No, they want to enjoy their night. But as a coach, you're so excited about this. How do I? And now that's in your head as a coach. How do I bottle this? How do I get this again? What can I do?
Oh, I meant Southern New Hampshire doesn't want to do that.
Well,
they don't want to come right back out.
Southern New Hampshire may want to come right back out. I mean, these guys are competitive. I mean, 5-1 game, 4-1 really with an empty netter, right? They didn't come here with that thought in mind. So I know there are things that they would want to do different, and are already going through their heads of what they are going to try to do different tomorrow. And that gets to be the exciting part of it, as a coach and as a player, is a decisive victory, yet I shut you out twice at my place. So it should be one heck of a game tomorrow afternoon.
Shane Ben couldn't get the shutout today, but a late third period power play goal by Southern New Hampshire.
Yeah, and they were a little over 21% right on the power plays. So you can't go to the well that many times and hope that the bucket doesn't get full once in a while.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because you're probably going to get two new refs and 2 new linesmen tomorrow who didn't really see this game. I was a little surprised at the lack of penalty calls. Just overall, because this game got very chippy. It threatened to get out of hand. Credit to both teams for not letting it. But I was kind of surprised there weren't a few more 2-2s and maybe a 10. Just to say, time to chill, everybody.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it could have certainly gone that way. So that's a credit to the officials calling what they needed to, when they needed to, and then in between kind of letting the guys play and figure it out on their own.
I'm going to yell at my team here for a second. Here he comes. Wants to be clean for the interview, I gather. Congrats.
Sorry, I was.
That's okay.
Jumped in the shower.
That's okay. We were going to leave. We were just going to leave and then call you later.
Yeah, FaceTime.
We'll do it over Zoom. Wait for them to get the camera set up. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Let them tell me when they're good to go. Good to go. Captain Trey Delory here for our post-game interview. Big 5-1 win.
Yeah.
Trey, great game today.
Thank you.
Our 3 stars was everybody.
Oh, 100%.
Because this was as good of a team effort as I've seen all these. Just talk to me about your team.
100%. That's what I said after we got in the room. I mean, that was a huge team win. You could show, everyone in the stands could tell. I mean, we got guys pulling on the rope together. Huey with those block shots in the second. I mean, that's the stuff that you come together at this time of the year, and you win or lose games off of that. It's not always the skill play. It's stuff like that, coming together and being able to eat a shot for your brother. And that's what we're seeing right now coming down the stretch. So it's
5 out of 6, 4 out of 5 in conference. You guys at worst will be in 3rd place, maybe 2nd place, depending on how everything breaks out today. But you have to come back here in less than 24 hours and play them again. What do you need to do between now and then to come out with that same intensity in that exact same game?
We need to stay dialed in mentally. That's a good team over there that's not going to go away. I mean, that's what we were preaching. Richter and me in between the periods is that's a team in blue and gold that's not going to go away. They're going to be angry coming out for 3 tomorrow, and we got to be more angry. That's really the bottom line to it out there in this league. So, yeah.
Talk to me about your assist on the Scotty Swain goal. Beautiful give and go between the two of you, and nice pass to him, and he had a wide open net.
Yeah, me and Swain have had some chemistry. It's just fun. I mean, I'm a senior D-man. He's a freshman forward, so it's fun to have a little chemistry with that. But, I mean, I was able to expose a little bit of a seam there, and I jumped in. He hit me good, and I felt someone on my back, and I just gave it back to him. It was kind of an unorthodox hockey play. You don't really see that a lot, but
very tight quarters as well, but nice.
Yeah, and great.
When
hands
it works, it looks great.
Great hands by Swainer. I mean, it hit his foot, and he popped it out. The kid's got a lot of skill, so it's fun playing with him.
Talk to me about you and your gigantic defense partner in Tanner. We had Tanner up here earlier this year after he had a stellar game as well, but you guys 6'7", 6'5",
yeah.
Really putting the body on everybody. How's that pairing working, and how are you feeling comfortably with that?
It's unbelievable for me. I mean, he's been here for 2 years. We didn't play with each other last year. So when I got paired up with him, I kind of had a smile on my face. And, I mean, he makes the game so easy as another D partner. I mean, we've seen him for 2 years. He's stronger than anyone else out there. And, like, it just makes it easier for me as a D-man. And both of our reaches, it's huge. He's skating unbelievable this year. And I'm happy to see him having success out here because I see the work he puts in, and it feels good to see that, and playing with him is unbelievable.
What do you do now for the rest of the night? So you showered already,
yeah.
So you're raring to go.
Yeah.
So what's the rest of the night?
I'm
going to
go grab some food with my parents real quick, and then get ready. It should be a good atmosphere tomorrow. We got our benefit game, and I just preach to the boys that, we leave that locker room, it's over. All that matters is 3 tomorrow, and we need dogs, basically.
There you go. Trey Delory, the captain of the Post University Eagles, 5-1 win today. Thank you for joining us wherever you are across the country or around the world. See you tomorrow, 3:30 puck drop, 3:15 pregame on the CACC Network and YouTube.com/GoPostEagles. I'm Jeff Nelson for Coach Pete Whitney. We'll see you then. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.